What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. We Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut. Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Got to get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
With the gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up? It is Talk That Talk Tuesday. Talk and I will talk back. We got a loaded lineup today. Steve Kim joins us. Maybe Matt McChesney might pop in. He went to the Nuggets game last night. We're going to dive into that. But first of all, pound that like, subscribe, become a member of our Slap Nation Discord. Plus, our winnable picks are hitting. Last night, I hit 2 for 2 on my winnable. So go check it out. A lot of people made some money last night. Go check out winnable/slap picks. And winner, chicken dinner. Check it out. Join us today for our first down package. We got a loaded show today. We're going to get into all that stuff. Show is brought to you by Winnable, Bet Online, and Prize Picks, the realest show on planet Earth. Let's dive into this thing right out the gate. There was once upon a time when the owners and the coach and the GM could criticize players for not doing their job. After all, we do pay them generational wealth. What the fuck has happened to those days? We have allowed and empowered the player from every level to control what the coach and the owner says. Plus, still astronomical amounts of money for not living up to the end of the bargain. They're not living up to their end of the bargain. This is a bargain, people. Make no mistake. Playing a sport you love for hundreds of millions of dollars, along with all the other perks that come with it, is a 1%er. Just to be clear, those players have earned it. Don't make no mistake about it. But also has disregarded the fact that they are a 1%er, and where they are is something to be special. Over the last 10, 15 years, however, coaches get fired, GMs get criticized for calling out players who are there for a job. A big job, which is to win, produce, and lead. Jimmy Butler went on a podcast, did a video talking shit about the Celtics, and Pat Riley called his ass out for it right out the gate yesterday, said we shouldn't say shit if we're not playing. He then went on to say extending Jimmy Butler is up in the air due to his availability. Shout out to Pat Riley for standing on business. I wish Ballmer and others would do the same. Not just because I don't like the Clippers, but for the betterment of the game. Kawhi Leonard don't play, man. Paul George is a playoff bust, always has been. We call him Palmdale Pete here in California. And James Harden is the same category as those. All three of them are over the hill. There are 6 players in the NBA who start that are over 30 years old, people. Only 6. It's time to get young, Lakers, Clippers, NBA, owners, coaches. Stop being scared to speak on the truth. And let's fucking go. Let's get into it. Jamal Murray throws a heating pad on the court in an unprecedented bitch-made move yesterday as the Wolves roll the Nuggets. Pat Riley says the Heat and the Jimmy Butler extension contingent on availability. Clippers say they hope to keep Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden. Really? Gobert misses the game last night due to his kid being born. Can't wait to get my take on that. Weightlifting champ killed in Russian-Ukraine war. We're going to dive into that. Sixers GM Morey says going to have a lot of changes come up this offseason. Morey, you say that shit every year. And the Mavericks re-extend Jason Kidd after the Lakers reached out to gauge interest in his services. But before we begin, my wonderful co-host, Ball State legend, Naptown's finest 317 Far East Side great and AR5 defendant, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, Caitlin Clark jocking, Fox Sports very own, Big Smitty. Welcome, Big Smitty. In.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's Talk That Talk Tuesday. If my opinion offended you, I don't care. That's what we do on this show, man. JB, what's going on? Which, how you feeling?
What up? Man, it's good. I moved the camera up because a lot of like little, pussies on the. Oh, can you move the camera up? You can still get the. Man, shut up. Nobody even cared about the camera. So I moved it up for all you pussies.
You look good though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you do look a little.
Yeah, I look good anyway. That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's all good.
The chat can be right about certain things.
Yeah, but if my opinion offended you, you should hear what I keep to myself.
Man.
We got a lot going on today. So yesterday I took 3 chairs to the studio. So I drove 2 hours. So I went and bought the chairs. Then I drove, took the chairs up 6 flights of stairs myself. Each chair by one. Each chair wore 60 pounds.
What?
Took them upstairs, 6 flights. Had the truck waiting in park because there's nowhere to take the furniture, dog. So you got to park with the hazards on. I gave the security guard a little, hey, homie, if something happens, whistle.
Right.
If something cracked, whistle.
Yep.
If you don't know what movie that's from, then you motherfuckers just don't know.
Bro. Friday, stop.
So if they come, whistle. And so shout out to my boy Debo, the big homie who passed away. Tiny Zeus Lister, the homie, grew up in Compton as well. Anyway, so I get the chairs up there. I sent you a video of what it looked like. Today, I got another cold leather chair I'm going to get all white.
Ooh, cocaine?
Cocaine white. That's going to be our single chair where we do Smitty Says So, JB's Daily Rant. It's going to be a solo shot in the studio. I'm going to get that today. I'm going to get some rugs today. And I'm going to get a coffee table. A round coffee table is going to go in between those 3 chairs. So we're setting it up. We're getting there. So everybody that's contributing, much love. Like I said, the top 5 contributors to our GoFundMe will get a special invite to play poker, barbecue, and hang out for the day, maybe the weekend. So our GoFundMe's right there. Our top 5 contributors get that invite. Just throwing that out there as incentive for all you guys that are helping out. And, we're trying to get 10 grand to get our new studio ready to go. Cameras, mics, etc. So
yes, sir.
Everything come out of my own pocket right now. I bought the studio myself. I bought everything. I'm trying to get this thing, get a little help for it so we can get going because it's already started. The lease has started. We're in there. It's going. I got the keys. Smitty got keys. We got everything. Now we got to get a mural. I got my mural guy going today.
Oh, for real?
We're going there today. So I don't know what you're doing. I know you're busy. You work for the man.
I know. It's your fault. It's your fault, though.
You work for the man.
Every day I do that, it's your fault.
If you didn't work for the man,
it's your fault.
So you work for the man. You can't go. But, yeah, I'm going to have the guy. He's going to come map it out, check it out, and then I'll take this chair and these other things over there. Me and AE go over there, take over.
Don't do no Nash in the studio before we even got in that motherfucker.
I don't mix business with pleasure. That's not me.
Making sure.
Yeah, I don't do that weird stuff. I don't do that weird shit. Plus, Enix setting up cameras, too, because, we got a doorbell.
We got a doorbell?
It got a doorbell, so, like, if people walk by, so we got a camera. Enix putting the camera on that thing because we don't have a peephole.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm testing you right now. What does that mean? Let's see how hood Indiana is. What's that mean? Why would we have a peephole? Why do we have a doorbell? Why do we need a camera?
You need the camera so you can see who the fuck pulling up. They may try to rob you, break in, anything. Knock on the door to make it seem like it's somebody that we know. We open the door and they come on now. They run up on you.
So we need a peephole.
I know. My crib right now ain't got no peephole. I got a Ring camera outside my door.
So we got to get a peephole and a camera so we know what's happening. Now, we do have 24/7 security. And you know, we got where we put in the coffee bar. There's a window right there, right to the street, downtown L.A. We got fire. It's going to be a cool little setup. We got the big screen that I'm on right now that we write on. That's going to be like our ESPN segment of breaking down film. We got to get this 500-pound fucking big-ass screen over there. That's next. I'm trying to get all that done this week. And then get it in the elevator, get it up there. It's gonna be
Can
tough.
it fit in the elevator, you think?
Yeah, we gotta go in that way, then back it in. Yeah, and they don't have no freight elevator, man. This is gonna be a bitch, man. But I got it. I'm doing everything myself. So
you probably gonna need me. You probably gonna need my help on that one.
Hey, it's crazy. TikTok, I had 200 and some people in there, and then it popped up a thing said this live is age restricted, and it went from 288 to 65 people. Okay. It boots out all the people that are underage, I guess. How do they know?
Yeah, I mean, they know over time the type of language that you put out and the type of topics that you discuss. So I think they just through AI probably have a system to where they can take out anybody who's 18 and younger, which is fine. That's not really our core audience, you know what I'm saying?
But just because I'm in a lounge, I don't get it.
Well, I think it's a combination of history of being, banned from TikTok over and over and over and over and over again, and the type of videos that you post. And I think internet is getting smarter now, and technology is getting smarter to where they can just combine all the stuff that you've done in your past and make an educated guess of who should watch your stuff moving forward.
Anyway, Smitty has all the political takes in the world. He can really come off. He's really a chameleon. If you didn't know, Smitty is a chameleon. He can talk to anybody, anywhere. Let's dive into the quote of the day, brought to you by Prize Picks.
What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's Bet Online. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Peace.
All right, Big Smitty. Quote of the day. Family is not about blood. It's about who's willing to hold your hand when you need it most.
There it is. There it
family,
is.
Family ain't always blood. Let me just tell you.
That might be a homie. That might be who knows.
Hey, family ain't always blood. It's about who's willing to hold your fucking hand when you need it most. Could be the homie, your friend. Could be someone you just met. Could be AE. Could be AE. Could be all kinds of people. I don't know. Contrary to belief. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. When it's all said and done, grief is the price we pay for love. Contrary to belief.
Because you know what? That's such a fact, because it's either, whether it's through breakup, whether it's through death, whether it's through disappointment, regardless, it will end in grief one way or another. That's cold-blooded.
It is.
That's cold-blooded.
Poll question brought to you by Bet Online. Should Jamal Murray be suspended for Game 3?
Yes.
Smitty, let's start right there with you.
Jamal Murray should be suspended for Game 3, bro. Watching the video, like, he just was, I don't understand it. Like, the more I look at this, the more I was watching the video, I'm like, what went through your head as a grown-ass multi-millionaire man for the Denver Nuggets, the reigning champions, you're so worked up emotionally that you spazzed out and decide to throw a heat pack at who? The ref? I'm assuming that's who he was aiming at, the ref. I just don't understand. And you're not a rookie. You're not some young guy. It would be wrong for them to do it. But I'm saying for you, it's even 10 times worse because you're a star in this league. You're the number 2 on the Denver Nuggets, the reigning champions. This is like, I can't even think of anybody. Scottie Pippen back in the day. This is any great number 2. Like, just imagine them just spazzing out on the court in the middle of a game. It's still early. It was first quarter, I think, or second quarter. Like, you're spazzing out so much to where you throw up a heat pack. He damn near should be suspended for 2 games just off principle to prove a point, because that is ridiculous. And it really stemmed from the fact that he was getting his ass locked up. Let's keep it real, JB. He was getting locked up all game, all series so far, really. I think he had 8 points in totality for the game. I'm going to send you, buddy, this tweet I saw. We don't even, when I send it to you, don't worry about the video. You can take a screenshot of the actual tweet and we'll put it in here in a couple minutes. From Ball is Life. You might already have it in there, I don't know. But it's like his numbers is horrible. So I understand the frustration, but take that out on the opponent in a positive way and get your team back and going. You're so worried about the damn refs that it's throwing off your entire focus. So yes, I can talk about this for a long time, but I'm gonna throw it to you, JB. He should be suspended at least for a game.
Hey, I'm glad you took that approach. Yeah, I thought it was. I lost all respect for the dude that quick. Listen, I lost all respect for the dude. And listen, we could talk about competitive advantages being lost if they suspend them in the NBA, and we could talk about blah, 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 blah. Bottom line is, you guys defend John Morant when he pulls a pistol, but you want this guy to play when he fucking throws something on the court. Make it make sense. I'm tired of dealing with the contradicting takes and the hypocrisy of some of you people in the chat and how you talk. It's unbelievable to me. You can't have both ways all the time. 2 things can't be true in this instance. You are a broad. You did a thing that screams female tendency. You threw a fucking temper tantrum in a professional men's sport. So this could have been very bad. It came out, if you notice, it comes out kind of rolled up. So
yeah.
if an ankle rolls out on that shit. And then, by the way, he threw it twice.
He threw it twice.
The first time it didn't reach the court, and the guy picked it up. And then he threw it again. Look, see that right there? It didn't reach the court.
I didn't even notice that, JB. I swear to God, I did.
Yeah, the bitch made cat threw it twice.
So that means he even he gave this thought. It's not like it was a reaction. No, he thought about it and said, "Nah, I'm gonna do it again." Oh yeah.
Well, this the disrespectful nature that
immaturity
you have
too.
Zero regard for your coach, who's the championship coach last year with you guys. Who's a guy you look up to apparently, who goes over to Serbia with Joker and does things with you guys as a coach in the NBA, which he does not have to do. He goes with you to different places in the offseason to really know his players, which I respect. By the way, he had a temper tantrum. Like if a football coach would have done that on the field, walked out to the 50-yard, that's equivalent to walking out to the 50-yard line and cussing out a referee during the game. He walked out in the middle of the court to cuss out a referee.
He thought he was playing baseball for a second. He thought he was going to the diamond to argue with.
If this Nuggets team doesn't have a sense of entitlement, I don't know if I've ever seen one. Because you finally beat the Lakers last year after 100 years. And then you act like you've been winning titles for your whole fucking franchise. You've never won anything. You beat the Lakers one time in a fucking meaningful series. And you taught that you guys were the best thing since sliced bread. And then now you get locked the fuck down and you're going fucking bananas because it ain't going your way. And now you got the head coach Malone who's out of the middle of the court. Jamal Murray throwing fucking temper tantrum fucking throwing shit onto the court. dog, I've never seen more of a bitch-made fucking crew. And I'm going to be straight up real. The fan base in Denver may be getting up there with my Kansas City Chiefs Queendom fan base. And this is why. See, nobody wants to go back in time and really go down and bring down and talk about this. And I wish Matt was coming on because I got a beef to pick with Matt about this. Matt doesn't realize this Denver Nugget crowd and fan base used to rock nothing but Kobe Bryant jerseys in that motherfucker when the Lakers was running through everybody like a Figueroa hoe. This is what the Lakers used to do, and your whole crowd used to be Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal wearing ass jerseys when you guys were fucking horrible. When Kobe was fighting a case in Denver and flying from Denver to LA every day in a helicopter or flying, and then he'd get on a helicopter and land on Staples Center and play. You guys had fucking Kobe jerseys on when he was fighting a case in Denver. And now y'all talk about you guys are the most loyal fan base. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You must not remember and go back in history because you sure don't remember that. And I do. See, that's what. But let me get into something before Smitty says so. I gotta tell you, Smitty, Bailey, Brian Case, all you youngsters in here, Max Hess, D Jones. I don't know how old you are, but last night you witnessed what I used to see every day on a daily basis in the NBA. That fucking lockdown, 3-point stance, triple threat defense. Give me that motherfucker. Triple threat defense, full court, 100. With the ball passed in bounds, we pressing that motherfucker. Jamal Murray was like, oh my God, I can't. You're not letting me dribble for free. You're not letting me dribble all the way down the court. That is what we used to see every day in the NBA. And last night, the T-Wolves demonstrated that shit, and I was glued to the TV because that's the first time I've seen it in 15 years, 20 years. And I'm glad Smitty, Bailey, Brian Case got to see what the NBA used to be. And now, maybe you'll say, damn, maybe LeBron couldn't get to the rack like he does this today. Maybe LeBron couldn't score that many points like he does today. Maybe the fucking Luka wouldn't fucking score like he does.
We gonna find out. We gonna find out if this shit play out the way I think it's gonna play out. We gonna see what Luka do, but that's another conversation.
Listen, I'm not gonna jump the gun because Barkley got hyped and we live in this what have you done for me lately deal. I'm not going to jump the gun and say Barkley's talking about they might be one of the best ever already.
He said based upon statistics. That's what he said.
We do this shit too quickly, dog. And I give Stephen A shit all the time for doing it. Barkley, I love a lot of your takes, but come on, pump your brakes.
That's Chuck, though. Hey, if anybody can say it, Chuck can say it.
Yeah, but this ain't even close to the Detroit team in the 2000s that beat the Lakers. This team ain't there yet. They're not even close to the Bad Boys or close to those 76ers. Or close to those New York Knicks, or close to those early Alonzo Mourning Miami Heat teams. This is not there yet. Come on, win a title first. Let's see. See, that's the thing. I think we anoint these guys before they even are on the same playing field. To be on those playing field of those teams I just mentioned, you got to win the title first. Then we'll dive into the stats and dive into the comparisons. You got to win a goddamn title in your era first. I don't understand how we do that. But that's coming from Barkley, who never won a title. And listen, I love Barkley. Barkley's in my top 5, bro.
That's all-time great now. You slow down a little bit, it's all-time great.
But listen, he never won a title.
Because Jordan played in his era. That's why he didn't win.
Well, he even played before Jordan. But here's my thing, though. Like, this is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, talk to him.
He's sure anointing this team awfully quick.
He is.
Without winning a title. I don't know. Now, listen, the Knicks and those Heat teams lost to the same Michael Jordan, but they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks went to the finals, lost to the Houston Rockets. Olajuwon Ewing matchups were great. The Knicks
And
got
the Suns
swept.
went to the finals with Barkley, respectfully.
Yeah, that was old Barkley. That was old Barkley.
I understand they went there. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was old Barkley. Look,
He was MVP that year.
Yeah, it might have been. He dropped 40 in the finals. Like, he dropped 40 on Jordan in those finals. Like, Barkley was a dude. All I'm saying is, though, like, this team has to win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we can start talking about it. But the way they play defense, 90 feet, tenacity, without Gobert, which we're going to get into. We're going to get into that. Without Gobert, that team was just as dominant. Just like I said.
Just for clarity, you said you ain't seen that type of defense in 20 years, is what you said.
Maybe longer than 20, dog.
So if that's the case, then just real quick, not to get off topic, we're almost discrediting our guy who we look at as our GOAT, Kobe Bean Bryant. Because if you're saying 20 years, that's 2004. You're basically saying Kobe grew up in the era where there wasn't no defense, which I would disagree, because I think a large part of his career, I think those early, mid, even late 2000s, defense was still being played. I do think once we got to like
about 8 years. You're talking about 8 years in, Smitty.
Once we got to the teens, I think you started to see some changes, but
Smitty,
people were still playing defense.
You said 04. So if I did say 20 years and I'm going to stick with 20,
yeah, Kobe
Kobe was 8 years in already.
I hear you.
So Kobe was 8 years in the league already. Kobe got in the league in 96.
96.
I'm just saying, I was watching him as a rookie in 96. Ruben Patterson, so-called Kobe stopper. Get the fuck out of here. I saw Ruben Patterson take 60 to his eye by Kobe twice. Get the fuck out of here. Ruben Patterson, by the way, guess where he went?
Where?
Independence Community College.
Ooh, okay.
I bet you Jesse didn't know that. Ruben Patterson is a Kansas JUCO kid, went to Indy. Same last chance you. Also, the Grant brothers went there as well. Horace Grant, Harvey Grant. Kansas JUCO has great basketball too. NBA players, a lot of NBA players came out of Kansas JUCO. But they also called Ruben Patterson, and then they also called Corey Maggette, Kobe stopper. Then they called fucking
Shane Battier.
Get the fuck out of Bruce Bowen.
Didn't nobody stop him.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Ash, move. So, dog, it's comedy. But listen, before we get too deep into this Gobert stuff, we got so much to discuss. Smitty said so. It's time to go.
Let's do it, man. Smitty said so. My message for y'all today in the chat for all the audio listeners is be humble. Now, don't get that confused with lacking confidence. In everything that you do, you should always believe that you're the best, but you should always have respect for the obstacle or the opponent directly across from you. Never get too high on the highs or too low on the lows. And watching that Nuggets game last night, watching the Nuggets get whooped on their home court again, just made me think about this message. The Nuggets won their first ever championship last year and spent all offseason talking trash, acting as if they had already went back to back. And see, the problem with being cocky is that it affects your preparation. Subconsciously, you think that you're so great that you can afford to miss a day, miss a rep, all while your opponent or your obstacle is starving to get into your position. So I'm going to end it like this, man, like I started. Sit down and be humble. And this message isn't just for the different Nuggets. It's for everybody and every walk of life that you're going through, man. Be confident, but also be humble, man. And listen, if you don't agree with me, I don't really care, because everything I say is a fact, because Smitty said so. Bring JB back on, man. Let's get it.
Hey, somebody asked for the quote of the day. The quote of the day is, family is not about blood. It's about who's willing to hold your hand when you need it most. First of all, I want to clarify on the 20-year talk about playing defense in the NBA. What I'm talking about is team 90-foot court defense. I'm not talking about individual defense. I'm talking about the last great defense that played like this was the Detroit Pistons team in 04 who beat the Lakers. That's what I mean. Team defense, pressing the ball right out the gate and being bought in, Smitty.
Yeah.
This Minnesota team is bought in, and this is why. My man, what's my man, the lefty?
George Gervin?
Nah, for the T-Wolves right now. Fucking the guard.
Not Caldwell. He not lefty. Michael Porter ain't lefty, is he?
For the Wolves. For the Wolves. Conley.
Mike Conley, Naptown, Indianapolis.
So Conley goes to the rack and clings the layup, misses the layup bad, and could have got. Everyone else is bitching and moaning about fouls. He did not even say anything. He's
from my hood
and ran. He turned and ran and chased the rock down. And you don't see that no more. If you go watch a LeBron fucking game, that motherfucker would have been there jumping up and down. He'd have been down there. He'd have been doing this whole shit down there with the ref while the ball went that way. This team is completely bought in from a standpoint that they practice the shit, dog, because there's no way you have to train that. All right, no call, bad call, same call. I gotta go. And that's what it is. No call, bad call, same call. We go. And they're bought in. And that's the bottom line. That's the point I'm making. And this is the best team defense I've seen since that Detroit team with Tayshaun Prince, a Compton native. I gotta dive into something. I want to dive into a little bit of
talk about it.
I got a daily rant, and I also got to make it make sense.
Do them both back to back.
So I'm gonna do to make it make sense right now. JB's make it make sense. The United States of America, people, has allowed protesters. That's one of our freedoms. I get it. We should have the ability to protest. That's usually protesting means protesting by Americans in America for something that's American. We've allowed protesters, foreigners, or protesters that are domestic who are backing foreigners to disgrace our monuments, our forefathers who died for this fucking country, our own family and friends, our loved ones who perished for this country. And this is the thanks we get for allowing you fucks in our country. You ungrateful fucks, you. Get the fuck out. Better yet, why hasn't Biden called the dogs on these fucks who have allowed this to happen? Smitty, this isn't Gaza Strip. This isn't a third world country. This is New York City. These are our forefathers who died for this country, white and black, who died for this country, by the way, up there on that deal. And we have done nothing. We've allowed it to be straight up dismantled. And I'm just trying to find why this unacceptable shit, the most unacceptable shit I've seen in 48 years on this earth, and yet we just go about our days as if nothing happened. Really? Like, what the fuck is going on in our country? But yet, Smitty, better yet, what is happening across the world? This shit is happening in Amsterdam, across Europe. People, you better wake up. They are here, and they're coming for us. There's 1,000 a day crossing our New Mexico border. And the border patrol in New Mexico yesterday said they cannot do anything. Biden said let them in. What the fuck? I saw the video. What are we doing to ourselves, our freedom, our country? I don't know, dog. I really don't. But 1,000 a day coming through New Mexico now. Since Texas said, nah. Fuck you, Biden. Now they're coming through New Mexico. I don't know, dog. I've seen some alarming shit. I don't believe everything I see on video, but I've seen some shit, and I'm seeing these Border Patrol guys talk about it, and I'm just like, America first used to be a motto. We used to not deal with terrorists. Remember, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Now we're trading Brittany Griner for terrorists. We're doing things for terrorists that we've never seen before. We're taking in the ass like I've never seen before. No pause either. We are taking in the ass. I don't give a fuck. This is a very, very slippery slope, dog. We're in a little weird time right now. I'm just going to be straight up real. Smitty, I got a little segment, JB's Daily Rant, that I want to do with you. That I want to get from you. LeBron being called out is against the rules, apparently. And I wanted to talk to about a brother, because I see the hypocrisy that I've never seen before and no one's ever talked about. I will get canceled, and so will you if you say it. I will be called a racist. You will be called a sellout or a brother keeping another brother down. I'm tired of this shit. You got to miss me with the hypocrisy, dog. So I can call out Luka for being a crybaby bitch like I've done on this show many times, but no issue. But I can call out Reeves, who I've said is a bust, no issue. I call out JJ Redick and call that motherfucker a straight out sellout bitch, no issue. Smitty can call out LeBron, and he's a sellout for trying to keep another brother down, right? Am I correct? But y'all can call Westbrook Westbrick. Y'all can say AD street clothes. Y'all can call Kyrie a sellout when he didn't take the vaccine, but not LeBron. Wow. Just shut up and dribble, JB. Shut up and dribble, Smitty, is where the bronzexuals are at, apparently. Your take on this, because I'm tired of dealing with this shit. I've been hearing that brothers can't talk about LeBron, but brothers sure be calling Westbrick.
Yeah, I think.
Why aren't they sellouts?
Nah, man, you make a good point. I just think LeBron has reached a certain level where his fans, the bronzexuals as we call them, will defend anything that he does, good or bad, and they feel like he's void of any criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the level that the LeBron fans have him at, where, again, whether you white, black, orange, blue, whatever you are, if you criticize LeBron, they're going to find a way to call you something because they just feel like he's holier than thou, like he's untouchable. And I feel like it's always been that way with LeBron for whatever reason. It's like when he wins, it's like, oh my God, he took the worst team possible. He had no help. He did everything by himself and carried the team on his shoulder. This one finals win should count as two because of how much ground he covered. And if he loses, LeBron did everything he possibly could. It's not his fault. He needs help. His team sucks. His coach is horrible. His coach should be fired. Look at the guys around him. AD didn't do this. Austin Reeves didn't do that. LeBron did everything he possibly could. My point is, they put him in a position to where win or lose, good or bad, it's never his fault. Never. And I've never seen this with anybody else. Kobe got criticized. Jordan got criticized. A lot of these other all-time greats got criticized. Magic got criticized before. Like, you go on and on. But with LeBron, it's like, nah, like it's never his fault. Even this year, when we lost in the first round, they're like, well, I mean, we didn't expect the Lakers to win. I mean, we didn't. I mean, what more could LeBron do? He averaged 27 points. Again, and then they throw the stats at you as if like stats aren't inflated in today's game because of a multitude of different reasons, with more possessions, more three-point shots attempted, and that being a bigger part of the game, etc. But they use the stats to show like, hey, he did his part. No, don't tell me the stats. Watch the game. How'd the game go? What they do during the game? So I'm with you, JB, for whatever, whether it's them pulling the race card or if it's just them being so in love with LeBron that they think he can't have any criticism. Regardless, he gets a pass for everything.
And I'm gonna be honest, dog. I think the media has made this a priority for the last, I would say, for sure, 10 years. I think the last 10 years has escalated or elevated him to this category that he's the GOAT because of longevity and his body. Like, he puts $1 million in his body. I'm tired of hearing that shit, dog. I sure miss Kobe Bryant, man. I sure miss the authenticity of the sport. Today, it seems media-driven, media push on who the GOATs are, who the best player is, the MVP. It's a white or black thing because the media says so. Kendrick Perkins wants Embiid to be it because Joker won 2 in a row. It's some race thing. Nah, back in the day, we didn't give a fuck, dog. Jordan won every year because he was the best player. I don't want to hear. Kobe should have been the best player every year, but they gave it to fucking Steve Nash. Let's just be real. Like, I'm tired of dealing with the color issue. How about the best player gets the best award? Period. That is what they used to be. That's what they should be. Like, it's the bronze sexuals are the same as the goddamn prime sexuals. And I'm gonna be real. There are brothers out there who are good friends of mine coaching, and they get zero credit. They get zero coverage. They get zero anything. Dion takes over from an HBCU, and they're acting as if this motherfucker is Nick Saban, and is the go-to when it comes to black coaches. Dog, there was 2 black coaches last year that started off the season 5-0. Syracuse and Maryland. Good friends of mine, both places. One of them's been fired since. The other one struggled down the stretch. None of them got coverage at 5-0. And then you got this young brother over at Notre Dame who took over there.
Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, third black head coach in history, or second, I'm not sure, at Notre Dame. Really gets zero coverage. Got a little coverage initially, but I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, and here's my point. This is the LeBron prime sexual discussion. Ryan Clark comes out on ESPN demanding, dog, years ago. I'll never forget it because I was going to record it and put it out there, but demanding that Anthony Lynn be fired as the head coach for the LA Chargers as they transitioned from San Diego to LA. Anthony Lynn was a brother. He's a good friend of mine. He was the head coach, and he demanded on ESPN Live that fucking Anthony Lynn be fired. And then out the side of his mouth, turns around and says, "We lack black head coaches." Now, the hypocrisy in that, make it make sense. So you're going to say we lack black head coaches in one side, and then you advocate on your platform, which is a very large one, by the way, to get rid of a black head coach. Make it make sense. And if anyone can go find that sound bite, go find it because it's there. I'm not making this shit up. He demanded it, and I'm like, hold up, dog. What the fuck are we talking about? So this is exactly the same scenario in the LeBron James takes. And this LeBron James thing, we talk about it's either race or you're a sellout. Well, which one is that? You want a black coach to be fired, but yet we lack black head coaches. Which one is it? And then Flores gets fired in Miami, and he, trying to win.
Right, literally.
I just make it make sense, dog. That's all I'm saying. I don't get it, but it is what it is. So I'm just tired of dealing with the shit. It's just kind of getting old, man. It's like, man, listen. We talk about this dude putting $1 million in his body. You know who else put $1 million in their body every year?
Who?
Do you remember a guy that played for the Suns and the Knicks, and he was a
Maury Stoudemire?
Fucking right. Maury Stoudemire used to lay in wine baths, and they did a 30 for 30. This motherfucker's in a bath in some sort of wine, and he drank a bottle of wine a night, and then he was putting $1 million in his body. How long did Amari Stoudemire play? Because I recruited his brother, by the way. His brother was going to play for me at Indy.
I know he had a brother.
I know.
Football, got you. Okay. Amari was a beast now.
So
he had like one good year with the Knicks.
I want to be clear. How long did Amari play in the league? How many years did he play?
I don't know the exact number. It's double digit, right? About 12 or something, 13?
I don't know. Let me find out right now. He played.
He had a good career. I don't know how long, though.
Where is this? How long did he play? I want an exact amount so I can give this.
I can look it up real quick. It says Stoudemire played 14 seasons in the NBA and was named to the All-Star 6 times. Drafted with the 9th overall pick in the 2002 NBA draft by the Phoenix Suns. Was named the 2003 NBA Rookie of the Year for the Suns. 8 seasons with them. So it says 4. I'm seeing 14 total is what I'm seeing.
All right, let's say he played 14. He put $1 million in his body a year, and this is exactly what LeBron says he does. He's done the same thing. Amari Stoudemire was hurt all the fucking time. All the time. Amari Stoudemire was hurt all the goddamn time. Number one. Number two, not only was he hurt all the time, we spilled this $1 million body thing back then, early, mid-2000s. Why is LeBron's $1 million body thing so groundbreaking and just unbelievable? Why is LeBron okay by doing it and saying it and playing 21 plus years or whatever, about to be 40 years old, but we've never seen the formula before? Like, I think he should come out with the formula. Like, all right, dog, we're going to do $1 million, but this is what we do with the $1 million. We have like whatever, we get into the chamber, and then we get into a wine bath, and then we do this breathing apparatus, and we take these trips up the hill. I've never seen anything come out about LeBron's regiment on what has extended his career, yet we look at him and say, damn, he still looks good as fuck. He's bigger and faster than any other 40-year-old ever. He's unbelievable at his age. All we talk about is he spent $1 million.
I mean, we just said that. I mean, with Brady, the TB12 method, we don't really know what the TB12 method is for real. We kind of have a little bit of idea.
Look at his body, dog.
Loosening the muscles up and not lifting.
Look at his body. His body looks loose.
We don't really know for real.
His body look loose. LeBron's body don't look loose. Don't compare Tom Brady and compare next to LeBron James.
I mean, I think Brady physically looked better as he got older, though. Fit like his body. You look at his rookie year. He was running his 40 and how out of shape he was. You look at how his career ended. He was much more lean and much more. All I'm saying is these guys have little methods in whatever that they do. They don't have to tell. Why would they tell the competition?
I believe everybody's on something. I don't give a fuck. I don't want
to
hear.
All right, so that's all right. I was waiting for you to get to that point.
Oh, I don't want to hear. I'm just tired of hearing that he's not on anything. Listen, they're all on something. I don't give a fuck.
If they're all on something, why even bring it up about LeBron? Then? Like, if you really believe that everybody's on something, then why even talk about it? Why make it a big deal with LeBron?
We're not making a big deal.
Everybody's taking it. That don't make no sense to me.
Everybody else can get a pass. LeBron, so everybody else gets scrutinized, but LeBron, again, to our point about this discussion, you cannot scrutinize LeBron.
I scrutinize him all the time, but not on some steroid shit. That's one of them allegations where, like, unless I literally have proof of any player, LeBron, fucking Rudy Gobert, Cat, that's not one of them things where I'm gonna just throw out here loosely on our platform and be like, yeah, unless I just know. They might be. I'm not saying they're not. I have no idea what they're sticking to their fucking ass and their hip with the needle. I don't know what they're doing. But that's the point. We don't know. So I'm saying that's the allegation for me. I'm not saying what you should do. I'm saying for me, I just can't go out here and be like, yeah, I think he is. Like, I don't know.
Like, we don't really say we think he is. What we say is, let's not dismiss the fact that he's getting better and stronger later in his career. And then people will sit there and defend him all the time. They defend his flopping. They defend his fucking longevity. They defend his being the GOAT when we sit there and watch 10 different head coaches lose because he got them fired or hired. And then we don't want to bring it up. We discuss everything is defending LeBron James at all costs. And I'm just like, dog, we have made him bump ahead of Kobe. He ain't better than Kobe. He ain't better than Jordan. He ain't better than a lot of people, in my opinion. So I just don't know why we dismiss all these other things when it comes to LeBron James. That's the only thing I'm at. That's the only thing I'm bringing up this thing for. Let's dive into something real quick before we got 5 minutes for a break. I got to ask you, I'm sure we'll disagree on this one because I think we've had this discussion before. But I'm actually happy that someone else agreed with me on this take because Rudy Gobert last night missed the playoff game for apparently either the birth or the baby was born and he wanted to be there for the first day. There's conflicting reports because I see both. Yeah. I don't know which one it is.
Because it came out saying it said personal reasons. I thought the baby was already born, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one it is either.
Do we have the Gilbert Arenas video of what he said? Bailey, can we find Gilbert Arenas while we talk? Gilbert Arenas came out on this yesterday live, and and broke it down. Give me your take on it. This is the second game in the playoff. What is your take on the kid thing? Because I have a history, and I have some history lessons for this particular case. So I want to get your take on it.
Well, I'm looking forward to listening to the history lessons. Obviously, I don't have any kids yet, so it's hard for me to to give my exact emotions of how I would feel because I haven't been in that moment yet. But my initial thought was like, okay, if the baby has been born and you were there to see the birth and everything was good, then go ahead and cut out and then fly to the game. Real quick, let's go ahead and play this Give It a Ring video and I'll jump in.
Right, man, yeah. Right. I would imagine Minnesota guy. I don't know for sure. I'm not in that man's business like that.
I mean, missing this game for that baby. I see you.
It's the baby, bro. It's gonna be there when you get back. We hope.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The baby gonna be trust me. But unnecessary. The baby gonna. It don't know. Whatever you about to think you about to do with the baby, he gonna be asleep. Need that skin to skin contact. Okay, you get skin to skin in 2 days.
Right on the titty. The whole time, right on the titty.
I'm saying,
need some milk.
Look, I get you want to be with your wife and smile and stuff, and your good NBA healthcare insurance.
Right.
It's because of you playing.
Right. Trust me, they got everything.
So first child.
Yeah, like I hear that, and a lot of athletes I think are on that side. I don't know. Again, I don't have no kids yet, but I would imagine that I'm going to want to be in the room with my wife when we have our baby in that moment. And one thing it's funny, I was talking to my girl about it yesterday, obviously to get a woman's perspective on it, and she's in the medical field obviously as well. So she's like, listen, like a lot of men don't understand how dangerous it is to give birth and how serious it is when a woman has a baby. Like a lot of times we just think, oh, they're pregnant and the baby cool. Like nah, like. Women die all the time from giving birth, all the time. Babies die. Like it's a serious situation, a serious thing that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's C-section, whether it's natural birth, whatever the case may be. So like this is serious business that's going on. So if this is your baby and your girl, you should be with them not only because of the special moment, but also just to make sure that everything is good. You ain't no post pregnancy or whatever, post birth. Effects to your woman, to the baby, just make sure everything's good. So from that perspective, I feel like I would want to be there. But on the contrary, I do understand that again, if the baby's already born and you've already like checked off the boxes, everything cool, and you have enough time to make it to the game, I feel like that's a good route that you could do too as well. So I don't know. It's kind of, I know I'm on the fence here. I just don't think there's like a direct, like you should just do this. In this situation, I don't think there is like one answer.
Yeah, here's the answer I have. I got to be honest. We've desensitized bringing up, or we've sensitized, I guess, the word, the bringing up anything like this, because it's an automatic cancel culture reaction to anyone even questioning Rudy Gobert missing the game for his kid's birth. We have allowed and brought up. We are so scared to even bring up the topic because of the cancel culture that has riddled our fucking veins over the last 10 years. We won't even bring up normal conversations anymore that everybody in their mind sitting there thinking about, wondering, but won't say it. And I refuse to do so. I got to keep fighting for the ones that really want to hear the truth.
Talk your talk.
So my buddy Kevin Caseyharn played for the Bengals for a long time. Played with TJ. Played with a lot of guys. And white boy grew up with me. One of the best white boy corners at the time. Played safety and corner for the Bengals and the Titans. He had his first child. They were entering the playoffs. I think they had to play the Titans. And at the time, Marvin Lewis was like, you're probably going to get cut, dog, if you miss this game. And Kevin was like pissed off, but he was like, I understand, I knew, and he was at that game. So back then, no one questioned Marvin Lewis. No one called him a insensitive asshole, hater. Nobody said anything. This was what the league was. This was what the professional sports world was. And this was the business that allowed your wife and child to be born in a very good environment. This job has paid you to do so. Now, you've earned that job as well. You've earned that job.
Like, what the hell?
No, I'm going to give you both. Right. You've earned that job as well. But again, Smitty, you earned the job. That means you have to do the job at the same time. Yep. It doesn't mean you earn the job and you get a pass to do whatever you want and load manage and miss games and miss. What my point is, we've allowed everyone to stop talking about what the truth is, and now we've taken not only childbirth and things like that, which are super important. I get it, and I'm not trying to be you're an asshole and all this. Bottom line is, dog, you couldn't miss a game for your child being born back in the day. Just wasn't happening at any sport level, at any professional sport. Go ask them. Go ask those old school cats. They'll tell you. This is not too far long ago, dog. This is not like 100 years ago. This is 15, 20 years ago. This was a normal. Now, listen, I get that there are deaths. My good friend, you've met one of my buddies, had his second child, and his wife passed a couple of days later. Had a stroke. She was very young, 30, maybe not even 30, 28, 29, 30. But listen, it's less than 1%. Listen, I'm not going to throw that number out there like it ain't shit because my buddy's wife died. But what I'm saying is it is less than 1%. And God bless you women that have the kid that go through that. It's a miracle. Really, it is. It's a miracle. But at the same time, I think we've allowed the conversations to just be dismissed, and you can't even bring it up because you'll be canceled. And that's why this show's real, and we bring it up because, in my opinion, you should have been at the game. I don't believe you were going to be able to do anything for that baby on day one. And the baby's not going to know you weren't there day one of her birth or his birth. And I'll be honest. Listen, man. You can call me insensitive, just asshole, whatever. The bottom line is, let's say, God forbid, something happened to the wife. What is Rudy Gobert going to do about it?
It's not even about what you gonna do. Sometimes it's about supporting somebody. It's like it's even in situations where like somebody, like I might have a close friend or like a family, or even a family member that might have passed away. You know, like my auntie passed away, which is obviously my cousin's mother. And like sometimes there's nothing you could actually do about it. But sometimes just being there for that person is doing something. And I just think we lose sight of that so much because it's like there's not always an action that you can literally do in every situation. But sometimes it's like there's certain moments in life where I think it's about support and being there. And I guarantee if you ask his wife, do she want her husband to be there? I guarantee she's gonna say yes. So that alone, okay. So she's probably scared. Listen, to me, giving birth is crazy. Like it happens every day, of course, so it's a regular thing. But when you really break this shit down, a woman is fucking a human being is growing inside of you and building up for 9 fucking months, and then you got to push this motherfucker out your vagina. That shit is insane to me. Like you said earlier, you said it's a miracle. Like it really is a miracle when you really think about it. And this is his first child, I believe. So it's like, I don't know, man. Me as someone who wants to be a father at some point, I know I damn sure I'm gonna be there regardless of the situation. Because at the end of the day, these jobs, man, this is bigger than NBA. These jobs will fucking fire you tomorrow, lay you off tomorrow, trade you tomorrow, whatever. So like, I get what you're saying. This is your job, do it, and I get that's the masculine answer, and I get all that. But at the same time, these jobs don't give a fuck about you. They care about you for as long as you're doing what they want you to be doing for them. They love you. As soon as you're not doing exactly what they want you to do for them, they don't give a hell about you. And you be here today and gone tomorrow. So sometimes there's certain things more important than just this damn job. At the end of the day, it is. Like I just went to one of my brothers who I grew up with since we was fucking kids. I missed work to go to my boy wedding. Now you can say, well, fuck that. You stay at work, Darnell. This is how you pay your bills. And fuck that. This is my brother from knee high to a grasshopper. I'm gonna go support him because that's real brother shit. That's real love right there. So there's certain situations where it's like, bro, life too short. Life is way too short We're never promised tomorrow, and motherfuckers dying at 30 now and having heart attacks. You don't know what tomorrow's gonna be. There's certain moments in your life that you need to experience, women, men, or women. And I can't be mad at Rudy Gobert for staying with his kid. I'm not mad either. If he decides to play, I'm not mad. He stayed with his woman. I'm not mad. But I definitely understand why you want to be there for the birth of your first child. He should get no nothing. Like you should have an opinion, of course, but I don't think nobody should call Rudy Gobert soft or anything like that.
I'm not calling him soft. I'm not calling him soft.
I know you're not. I'm just saying in general.
To your point, there's always a flip side of the coin. To your point, if he did work a regular job, he would be fired.
I don't know. You wouldn't.
No. Let's keep it 100 now.
No, he wouldn't.
The female gets bereavement pay or child labor pay. The man doesn't.
Nah, no, that's not. I got people on my production team who really left work to get their baby. No, men get.
Maybe now.
I'm telling you, they do.
This is my point, though. This is my point. This is my point that what we see.
There you go, DJ, on paternity leave.
Paternity leave for the female, homie.
No, I swear to God, men get it. I'm telling you right now. My homie at work at Fox Sports left when he had the birth of his child for a week. It's a fact.
I'm telling you, I know. I'm telling you, this is the problem. Is my point. My point is paternity leave never was for the male. The male would be fired if he were to leave for something else. It used to be female only paternity leave. Now the fucking males get maternity leave. This is what my point is about cancel culture and what we've become. This is my whole point about this. Listen, I'm not mad either way. What I'm saying is the ability to discuss it is why the chat gets mad. The cancel culture people come after you because you're insensitive, you're mean, coach. Let me tell you something. Each his own. Different strokes for different folks, homie. All I know is this. My dad was dying on his deathbed in 2005, April 18th. I had practice April 18th, 2005 as an offensive coordinator at East LA Junior College. This story is in my book. I've told the story here before. I was at practice April 18th, 2005, literally an hour after my dad died. My dad died in my arms. He told me get the fuck to practice as he passed away. There's different strokes for different folks. Certain folks were raised up certain ways. And the bottom line is, it's not those kids' issue. It's not those brothers on the field's issue. They didn't ask for a death. They didn't ask for a life. But you did commit to something. I committed to going over there and coaching those young men. And if I wasn't there, who was going to be there?
Right.
Rudy Gobert committed to playing a sport, a professional one that pays him a lot of money, and he committed to those brothers. And there's nothing he could do, nothing, to see that kid being born other than saying I was there. You can't even touch the baby, Smitty, until they wipe it off and cut the cord and put it in your arms after it's cleaned up, and then you're fully gloved up, fully body suited up, especially now after COVID. You can't even be there, Smitty. So let's talk about facts here. You can't even be there like we used to be there, like right there catching the baby. There's no.
You can be in the room. That's false.
I didn't say you can't be in the room. What I'm saying is he is fully gutted up with a full-on fucking deal, and he has to make sure the baby's cleaned off and washed, and then he can take them. And then guess what? What does he do? Then gets on the flight and bounces, or what? What is he gonna do? Rock the baby, saying that he was there? I'm just saying, dog. Listen, either like you said, it's I'll take heat for it. I don't care.
No, you cool. It's your opinion.
The bottom line is, listen. Exactly, D. Jones. If there is a C-section, he can't even be in the room. So I don't know what you're talking about. My mom's a doctor, by the way. I don't know. You guys fucking act like I'm just throwing shit out there. Yeah. The bottom line is this. There's different strokes for different folks. I would have been there because I committed to my team and my brothers, and this is a one-time shot. Listen, so is your baby being born. If it's your first, I don't know if it's his first or not. I don't know.
Like, time real quick. That's literally a one-time. Like you literally can't get that back. This is a game too. Like this, it's not even NFL. It's not like winner go. This is a game 2 where y'all already won game 1 on the road. So like, I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's the playoffs, very serious, but it ain't like it's a damn game 7. It's tied up. We win or go home. This is it. It's a game 2. So I'm gonna put game 2 over the birth of my kid. And obviously it's hindsight in 2020, but my team didn't need me. Beat the hell out the fuck out the Nuggets. So I would have wasted my time out here and just to appease the fans and shit and play when my team didn't even need me last night. Hindsight, I get it. I'm just saying, like, so I don't know. Again, I get it. I see both sides.
This is what we've created, though. I'm just telling you, this is the narrative and the world we're in right now.
But when you say that, you're saying that with a negative connotation, I feel like.
Because you're saying it's only a game 2. It's only game 2. It doesn't mean anything. It actually does mean everything.
I said it don't mean anything. I said like.
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Like a must win.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is we use that take in everything now. It's only game 2. It's not game 7. It's only $10. I don't have to pay you back. We use this in everything now. Like everything we do now is there's an excuse as to why we were allowed to do it.
Well, that is flip it though. It's only the birth of my first baby. It's not a baby. I can't do, and then I can do it. So I'm just saying it can go both ways. I mean, it's just the birth of my baby, and that's it. Like it don't matter.
But I can't do nothing about it. It doesn't go both ways. It's I'm the wrong one. And the baby, he's there for the baby's the only way to go. There's only way.
No, I don't agree with that. I'm not saying you're wrong. My only message is for everybody, not for you, for everybody. We should not be giving Rudy Gobert hell, in my opinion, for the decision he made. We can disagree with the decision and say what we would have done, and that's cool. But don't be like, not you, but people. Don't be like, oh, Rudy Gobert, he fucking tripped. He fucking saw how the hell you gonna and like. Because I'm seeing it online, I just think that's like a little. I don't get that part. It's like it ain't like the motherfucker just missing because he stubbed his pinky toe or something. Like it's his child, y'all. Like golly, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. That's all I'm saying. You know. So
yeah. I mean, she has tons of support. Let's be honest. She got mama, daddy, brother. They both families are there. See, everybody there. I don't know if you go back in the day. I'm gonna look this up. But I remember when I played, and then there was cats playing professional. We have this thing called a private jet, and these guys have big money, and these organizations have big money. They used to fly the motherfuckers back and forth until the baby was born or whatever, but they never missed a game. They would fly back and forth, red eye, whatever, fly back and forth. I'm trying to figure out. We've got technologically advanced, better. We got more money than ever, but yet that's now not a thing. Like we can't do the private jet. We can't do the thing. I'm trying to figure out why. It's a fucking 70-minute flight.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I remember as early as recent as last year, one of your favorite guys, RG3, was hosting like a Sunday night game or something, and he got the text that his wife was having a baby, and they show him sprinting off, taking his mic off, sprinting off the field to go. So he was at work, to your point, like you would be. He was at work up until that last second, and he fucking sprinted, and they got him to the hospital in time to see his baby get born. And
I just think we've created we've created a narrative though, like. See, I couldn't miss practice, Smitty, as a player or coach. I never missed one in my life. Like
you a beast.
Like baby, daddy has a job, and I got to get this money. I got to get this job, and I got to make this legacy for myself and this family that you're being born into. That used to be a thought process. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, we've allowed load management and, it's all good, homie. Kawhi, it's cool. You can miss. We've done this for everything we do. And so now my point is, it's hard to elaborate, but over time, we've allowed it and accepted in society, not just basketball and this baby being born. It's everything we do. It's a jersey swap era. It is allow players to transfer and then transfer back to the team they left you for.
Right.
It's okay to do all these things. It's okay to load manage, miss playoff games, Kawhi and other guys. It's okay now. It's accepted. And it's now the new norm. We've allowed this whole thing to become, if you say anything against that, is when you are the criminal and you need to be canceled.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's of the world who said, fuck cancel culture, I'm not going to buy into it, is one of the only that hopefully after the Tom Brady roast can get comedy back on for a network like Netflix, who's super woke and left leaning and liberal, and for that to go down on that network, what happened with Dana White talking about trans and all these different things that happened, is a sign that maybe it's turning again in the comedic world anyway. Comedy should be no holds barred, no filter. This is comedy. This is what the originators of the world, the Red Foxes and the Richard Pryors and the Eddie Murphys, this is what it used to be. And now, hopefully, it can come back. But anything other than, we used to be able to question that shit. We would have been making a joke about Gobert when, see, nobody was tripping when COVID came out and that motherfucker was wiping the mics and shit. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Nobody wants to talk about that shit. But now he has a kid and he's the fucking pinnacle of for females. He's the greatest father ever. Back in the day, though, if it was playing with us, motherfucker, you missing what? It's just a times change, dog. Times change. It is what it is. We agree to disagree. I'm not mad at them. I'm just telling you, we've allowed this narrative to be accepted now.
Yeah, I know we live in a society, I've said it before, where everything is allowed and you can be anything. And on the surface, that sounds right. That sounds like, okay, cool, that's good. But as we can see in our society, I mean, it's going too far in a lot of different categories in a lot of different ways, where there's no guidance, there's no discipline, there's no type of just anything. No, there's just do free for all right now in America, whatever you want to do. And we're seeing chaos. So like on a bigger scope, I do understand that. I just don't think this example, in my opinion, falls into that bigger scope, but I do understand your connection and what you're saying.
I want to be clear. This guy, I think JB's making sense on this, but damn, he never admits to being wrong to anything. See, I want to be clear on what being wrong is. Being wrong means you said something and it's proven to actually be incorrect based on some sort of fact, data, or statistic. That is what it is. That's what being wrong is. I have to eat crow and admit I was wrong because Tom Brady didn't throw for 5,000 yards. He threw for 4,800. It's not wrong if it's an opinion, homie. Who just put that up?
Me.
D. Jones literally said that. It's not wrong if it's my fucking belief. This is my belief, homie. How is it wrong? There is no wrong or right answer on the Gobert thing going to his kid's birth. It is my belief and what I would do. So this is what 99% of this show is. It's our opinion, our belief, what we do, what we bet, our teams we pick, what our top 5 is, what our top 10 is, what our top 5 quarterback is, what my top 5 quarterback. It ain't yours. I don't understand why that's so fucking hard to believe and understand. Why is that so goddamn hard to understand? That you have an opinion too, whatever your fucking name is. You, I'm sure, sit around your house jacking off, talking about certain shit that you do, and nobody's sitting there critiquing your goddamn opinions, you fucking idiot. Anyway, take a break. I just think this generation of cats, dog, is so sensitive, homie. Like, you can't yell at a motherfucker no more. You can't cuss a kid out no more. You can't cuss coaches out or players out no more. Like, this is why you see Jamal Murray doing what he did. This is why you see no teams playing full-on 90-foot court defense. Because coaches can't coach them no more, Smitty. Because if coaches coach them, guess what happens? You're fired. You're mean. The players get to transfer. This is where we are. Like, I'm just truly believing it. That's what I believe, dog. That's what I believe. Take a break, Smitty. We'll go get a coffee. We'll be back in 4 minutes on the other side with Steve Kemp. Here, this is the infamous one of the palm trees that Ash ate.
Can't fucking believe you. This fucking belt. You see this? Who just eats the whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting. Just fucking unearthed the motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Now, let's shake now. Who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old. My back hurts. I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down. Now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. Put a bunch of fucking stones. Look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again? So I had to. Ash, remember this? Remember you ate this? Did you do this? He ate once. I put this little moat around it. And just a sitting area. Come over here. We got the slapstick basketball court and driving range. So if I ever want to pull out the big dog, that's our net. All we do is just slap down our driving range, you know. And bam, swing away. And that's where we swing into the net. Jimmy crack corn on this hoop. And here's my RV parking where I park the whips. Let's take you out and show you a few. Out these double gates, I'll show you a few cars. Come on out. So right here, of course, is the bad boy. The last year they made this Cadillac EXT, one of a kind. Can't find these anywhere. And then you come out here, you got the 650i, BMW, ragtop, 500 to the rear, white interior. You know, you can't beat it. This is my baby though, my truck. Full sound, custom sound system in both. Top notch, only as I do. And obviously, this is my crib. Oops. All right, that's JB's Cribs. Appreciate you coming by. Listen, it's time to go. Now take your asses and get the hell out of here. I'm about to go cook some slapstick tri-tip. It's been a pleasure. Now go home. Peace. Get to look down on the property. That'll do it. Real Coach JB's Cribs. Peace.
I'm back in the building. Real quick, to my point on this whole Rudy Gobert thing. So that we have two reports out here right now. One, that Aaron Hernandez's baby mama is very upset about the Tom Brady roast on what they said about her baby daddy, Aaron Hernandez. Also now, Gisele Bündchen is not happy by the irresponsible jokes about her marriage to Tom Brady on the roast, per People magazine. Gisele is deeply disappointed by the disrespectful portrayal of her family on Sunday's evening's The Roast. This again is my point on how sensitive we have become. Comedy can't be comedy anymore, and you can't be a man or a woman anymore. See, everyone's so sensitive now and triggered. And Smitty, I'm saying there's two things that are out right now since the roast on Netflix about Tom Brady. One about Aaron Hernandez, baby mama, being mad how the jokes came out about Aaron Hernandez. And the other one today is about Gisele, former wife of Tom Brady, being upset that they came at the family in the way they did in the joke world. This is, again, to my whole Rudy Gobert thing. We've become so sensitive on all these things that we can't have comedy no more. And we know Gisele and probably Aaron Hernandez's baby mama is a fucking super left-wing, woke, whatever they are. And now all of a sudden you're mad. You weren't mad, though, when you were fucking Tom Brady's trainer while you were married. The hypocrisy, dog, and the audacity of some people blow my mind. It reminds me of when I was recruiting. And I beat a kid. I beat somebody out, right? What is this? I beat somebody out. What is that?
You all right?
You see that right there?
On your neck? There you go. You got it.
What is that?
It was like a fucking.
It was blood.
You use blood? Where you bleeding from?
Oh no.
Say your mouth bleeding.
That bit me.
She might have West Nile. You better be careful.
Yeah, it's crazy though, dog. She was fucking literally cheating on Tom Brady,
allegedly,
and nothing's wrong with that. Like, it's okay. Now you see that blood. That blood stopped, D Jones. Shit.
Oh, nah. You told on yourself, motherfucker. You said you don't bleed. Period.
No, I said if I bleed it, I stop and I scab. You fucking bleed and your shit would be just squirting out. Smitty, I mean, real. Like, we're so fucking sensitive, homie. It irks me. So I'm going to be real, and I don't think anyone wants to have this conversation with me. So now it's okay to defend Aaron fucking Hernandez, but not O.J. Simpson? What? Hold up, dog. Let's have this conversation. Who wants to have this conversation? I do. Who wants to have this conversation? So wait up. One motherfucker actually, in the court of law, beat the case. Now, we can say that again, Smitty, you just used the words allegedly.
Yeah, no.
Motherfucker, he beat the case. So now, when you call O.J. Simpson a murderer, you better use the word allegedly.
Yeah, because yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold up. I bet you Cam and Mace has something to say about it. They had this motherfucker on his show every day. But now, our sensitive asses want to get online and defend Aaron Hernandez because we made a joke about this psycho motherfucker who's murdered multiple people? What?
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, dog. Hold up. So I'm trying to figure this out, make it make sense.
Well, the people that I'm seeing that's offended was his baby mama, and she was upset because I think of what they got kids together and worried about what they kid gonna see. So she's thinking about from a motherly perspective from that window. That's where I'm seeing it from.
I'm tripping. Okay.
That's
okay. So
saying that.
I got you. So
yeah.
So the kid won't be able to pull up the goddamn 30 for 30 on Netflix, huh?
That kid gotta go to school though, JB. That kid gotta go to school, JB.
Around this motherfucker. 2 things can be true around this motherfucker. So don't pull up the Netflix fucking documentary on your daddy. Don't pull up the 30 for 30 on Florida and the New England Patriots fucking downfall when the motherfucker was killing cats at the club.
Allegedly.
Don't pull up any of that, daughter. Hey,
allegedly.
Daughter, don't listen to that Netflix series, okay? Son or daughter, please don't worry about that. But make sure that you bitch and moan about the Tom Brady roast when they brought up your daddy who killed a lot of motherfuckers. Be sure to talk about that.
The problem is kids are mean, JB, and that kid got to go to school today. That kid got to go to school, and maybe the mom is keeping that kid away from seeing a documentary right now at that age. The kid can find out once he or she gets older, but right now that kid, you can block him from certain things. But the other kids ain't being blocked from them certain things. So now the kid gonna go to school. Hold on, JB. The kid gonna go to school, and now the 4th grade little boy gonna come on. Your daddy a murderer. Your daddy a killer. You're a fucking serial killer. You know kids mean as hell, JB. Were they not mean in your ear?
That's
kids was mean in my ear.
That's comical. That's comical. You're the biggest proponent of what's out there on the cell phone today in this day and age, and you're telling me that when Karen and Johnny pull up to the school and they let their kid out and they say, "That's Aaron Hernandez, little baby." Oh shit. They're not even dropping the kid off no more to school. They already know. So you're telling me the parents don't know that Aaron Hernandez kid go to school with their motherfucking kid and who the fuck their daddy was? Because it's on Netflix, it's on Google, it's on Amazon Prime, it's on fucking 30 for 30 ESPN. But now it's we don't want to watch our kids see Netflix. Get the fuck out of here. These motherfuckers live on their cell phones. You got your motherfucking mind trying to use that narrative with me. Miss me with the bullshit. This motherfucker is a fucking walking hypocrisy. Twitter is, I'm saying. This shit is unbelievable. This broad who knows for a fact that her baby daddy was a murderer.
Allegedly, because if you watch documentary, we don't know about all the murders if it was tied to him for sure. It was allegedly.
Wait up. Is he a murderer, though, or not?
Yeah.
What is this, dog?
You all right? You got fucking West now?
No,
you got bugs seeping from your body.
Oh, it's a part of the shirt. I was wondering, see? Part of the shirt. Let me tuck it under. I was like, damn, is this a fucking West Nile bug on me? Because I got the best blood in America, so.
You a nasty man.
And I'm tired of hearing the allegedly shit, dog. This guy was convicted of a murder, was he not?
Let me tell you this real quick, JB. By the way, side note, have you watched the roast yet? You haven't watched it yet, have you?
No.
Have you seen the clip? You know the roast started. It's funny you brought it up. Jeff Ross, whatever, came out with the O.J. Simpson jersey on with hell with demons around him, saying he just came from hell and saw internet. Okay, I didn't know if you saw. I thought it was just ironic that you brought him up and then you didn't even know that you saw it.
I saw his. I saw him the next day on a Rich Eisen show.
Got you. Okay.
Steve, welcome in, Steve. Hey, by the way, was Aaron Hernandez not convicted of murder? Am I missing something?
Well, he was in jail for a reason, so I don't think it was parking violations or jaywalking. So
I think some of those murders were alleged, though. I don't think we got full proof if all of them was tied.
But he was convicted of at least one murder, bro. He was convicted.
No, I think at least one he was. Yeah.
Okay, so guess what? O.J. Simpson was not. He beat the case. The glove didn't fit. Guess what? But we're okay with O.J. See, Steve, they don't want to have this conversation. And guess
now
what?
You're right. It didn't fit. It didn't fit.
And by the way, at the end of the conversation, O.J. Simpson was the better football player.
Oh, that's not even a question. But I mean, look.
Well, we didn't get a chance to see what Aaron was going to become. No, Aaron was. Hey, hold on now. Aaron was a bad motherfucker for like 2 years until I'm just saying. I know.
Hey, he might have had everybody on defense scared to touch the motherfucker.
Yeah, he was better than Gronk them first couple years. Keep it real.
Steve, welcome in, Steve. I appreciate you jumping on.
I like your hair, Steve. I like what it's doing.
Well, it's at that awkward stage. It's gray, but it's not all the way gray. So we're kind of at that we're kind of like a half pregnant stage. I got to kind of let it go gray, and then if I comb it normal, it kind of looks like a border. It's weird.
That's kind of cool. I like keep it this way. I like that.
Has Whitlock tried to talk shit on you yet?
Oh yeah, he asked me, "What are you doing with your hair?" And I said, "I'm just gonna let it go natural for a while."
Gung ho.
Yeah, well, they were all black haired, but I can go jet black Lee if it doesn't work.
Hey, Steve. What you doing with your hair, Steve?
Okay, that's a terrible Whitlock, by the way. God, Doc, you sound like you got Down syndrome more than Whitlock. Shit. You're not exactly the Black Frank Caliendo. I'll tell you that much, Smitty. Gee, don't quit the day job.
Hey, Steve, I want to dive into some politics with you. In Amsterdam, we got people standing on business, and they are bulldozing these protesters. I love to see
All
this.
right.
I love to see this.
I just love waking up to good news in the morning, you know.
Hey, Steve said, "All right," like he was so excited just now.
But Steve, on our country, Steve,
I mean, these same people
but
say
this is
death
our
to
country.
America. Hey,
That's
but
our
can you
country,
pay off
though.
our student loan? No, we don't want to. We
But
shouldn't
this is
have
our
to.
country. Why is this our country, though?
Well, look who we're electing. Look who's
This
in
is
charge.
New York City, Steve. This is New York City. Amsterdam's bulldozing. We're allowing our forefathers' monuments to be disgraced. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Well, that's who the leadership is. And they set the tone. And we have to be very mindful of who's in charge, who we put in charge, who was elected. I mean, it's like the good people of Chicago. You know, they complain about Brandon Johnson. Well, wait a minute. You elected him. You willingly elected him knowing his policy. I'm not even upset at Brandon Johnson. He told you what he was. He told you what he was going to do. And yet you voted for him. And then you don't understand. He is not have your best interest in mind. So you have to understand, at the local level, voting probably matters more than who the president is. In all these municipalities, you have this very strong philosophy, oftentimes which is very, very anarchist, Marxist, downright anti-American. So, you know, look, be careful of who you put in charge and who leads you.
I thought it was a felony to burn a flag in America. It used to be.
Was it? I don't know if it is or not. I don't know. I think they've had First Amendment.
I thought it was a jailable offense to burn an American flag on American soil. It seems like now it's the thing to do. Like, ever since we got to burn Willis McGahee and Kevin Olsen's jersey in Miami, it seems like that was the norm. And I'm like, damn, we Alex Figueroa, when I took him from Miami to Garden City, they burned his jersey on Instagram Live, and everybody was like, oh shit, you can't burn a jersey, but we can burn a flag? I'm tripping. I'm lost right now in America. But somebody that does stand up for American beliefs, and somebody I think you would like, our great legend, Pat Riley, standing
for
on
him
business.
To say
Steve.
that, you know, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? You know, if you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut. And your criticism of those teams.
Love it.
Old school OG.
Steve, I started the show off with my monologue, and I'm like, I remember when coaches and GMs and owners used to be able to criticize the players that they're paying generational wealth to, because their job is to get us results. This is why we pay you. Just like the VP of Google, YouTube, they get paid a lot of money for getting the algorithm to work the right way. I don't understand why we can't critique or criticize our players anymore. Criticize, I don't get it. People think criticism is not, to me, correction is not criticism. He's correcting this guy and saying, you're not playing. Shut up.
But JB, this shows that you can still do it, though, right? Like you're saying we can't do it. We're seeing it happen.
Riley can.
I think Pat Riley. Yeah, Pat Riley just will. I think you don't see this by Ballmer in LA.
But that's because that's not his personality. I don't think it has nothing to do with he can't do it. He's a multi-billionaire. What you gonna do to him? He can do what he wants. That's not Ballmer.
That's my point. He should. If anybody should, he should, because nobody can touch his ass. Here's my thing, Steve. He also went on to say that Tyler Hero is very, very soft. I don't know if you saw you got to go watch this whole thing. Yeah, Smitty, he said it. And I love Pat Riley. I've always loved him. He came out and said Tyler Hero is inconsistent. He's very soft. He's inconsistent on being there. And I'm like, wow, he's calling out the whole organization.
Damn.
Because at the end of the day, though, Steve, Pat Riley is saying, I don't know if I'm extending you because you're not available in meaningful playoff games. Isn't this exactly what's happening? And here's what it said.
He's been fragile a little bit, and broke his hand last year in the playoffs. He had some injuries, earlier in his career, and
he called him fragile. Sorry, he called him fragile. Same shit to me.
The same thing. Fragile.
Well, I applaud Pat Riley. I love what he did from his Kentucky days to now. I just think that we need more of it because Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook are the epitome of this. Like, get rid of them. It's time to go.
I think Kawhi should consider retiring though. Like, I don't look at Kawhi as soft. I think Kawhi has a literal, real problem with his knee that we've been knowing for a while, and I think it's just gotten worse. And I think he's at a point now where he just can't play on it.
But doesn't Steve bring up Callis on this show all the time about a boxer getting hit in the face and over and over and over and over?
Yeah, I mean, look,
he load manages, Steve. He load manages all the time.
But he load managed because of the knee. It's not like he load managed for he didn't do it at first. He got hurt, fucked his knee up, and then started doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to look at the medicals, but look, Riley's old school. He's a made man.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of other younger executives have the cachet to really do that, or quite frankly, the guts. And a lot of these guys want to be friendly with the players. It's the player empowerment era. And a lot of what's taking place on these college campuses kind of mirrors what's going on in pro sports. Where there is no accountability. You have young adults who don't like authority, but they don't have a sense of real honor or dignity in terms of doing their job. You are contracted to play a game. Your service is your athletic ability. And there's this whole era of Ben Simmons. To me, he kind of defines the NBA era that I don't like. The guy takes mental health breaks. He gets paid a lot of money. He's been a huge bust. And yet people, for the most part, try to make excuses for him. And my view is he repels me as an American sports fan. But there's really nothing I can do about it except not watch, which for the large part, I partake in not watching. But Riley's an old school guy. I mean, Riley, at the end of his run with the Lakers, outside of Magic, everybody hated him because he was still a guy that would practice them hard. His ego got a little bit out of control from what I've heard and read. But he was going to always have a certain ethos. Like, we are going to play hard, but we're going to really practice hard too. He brought that exact same mentality to the New York Knicks. And then when it came to the Miami Heat, he told LeBron, LeBron, you're a great player. You're not running the franchise. So there's a standard there with Riley. It is not for everybody.
100%.
I agree. Steve, this is what we started the show we've been debating on. It kind of goes back to my take. I'm going to, we've made cancel culture so prevalent in the comedic world, comedy. I know you and Whitlock talked about it yesterday. I said the same thing. Hopefully that Netflix series with the roast of Tom Brady kind of gets things back to what they used to be. Talk about whatever you want. It's a comedy special. Now Aaron Hernandez's baby mom's mad. Giselle's mad that they disrespected the family. But
the jokes disrespected the family. Yeah. Not her cheating.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. My point.
All right. In the immortal words of Little John, played by Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Hey, so let me ask your take. I got to get your take before we ask you a couple things. What is your take on the Rudy Gobert thing yesterday, missing a playoff game for supposedly the birth of his child or being there? I don't know if it was the birth, though. We still don't know if it's the birth or if the baby was born already.
I'm surprised it's even an issue. The guys have been doing this for a long time. I remember years ago, I think it was an offensive lineman, David Williams, played for the Houston Oilers. He missed a game or wanted out of a game to see the birth of his child. Now, this is in the late 80s, early 90s. And Jerry Glanville said, "Are you crazy? We got a game to play." I remember that. Jerry Glanville was like, no.
My point, Smitty.
And
I'm
so,
not saying it hasn't happened.
That's because players didn't have leverage and power back in the days. And that's what you want to go back to. That ain't good. That's not good. That ain't good.
I
you gotta do whatever they told you to do.
I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm just saying what it is. And I remember from that point on, the players were pretty much given a certain license in certain instances to miss games, and teams would just give them accommodations to at least make it to the game, then come back to wherever the wife was, and then come back again.
Private jet.
I don't know.
Private jet, Steve. We have a thing called private jet.
So I don't know. I'm actually surprised it was a story, because I just thought now the standard was you can miss time off as long as you're there for the birth of the kid, then you come right back to the game.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas came off and said, "What are you going to do there? Rock my baby?" He's like, "Why would you miss it? You're not going to be able to do nothing."
See, I actually don't disagree with Gilbert, though. This is, in the immortal words of Jim Mora, playoffs. Like a regular season game.
I agree.
I get it. In a playoff series, okay.
I'm the same way. I'm just leaning that way too. I just think we've made it to where it's so sensitive to even discuss these.
Now I have a question. Is this Rudy Gobert's wife? Is he married?
I don't know.
All right, then it's different. Then that also matters. If it's one of your 5 baby mamas, I'd be like, bro, you don't care that much.
No, I'm pretty
Get
sure
your ass
Rudy's
to the
married.
game. Come on. So if that's the wife, I would say, you know what? I would be more towards that. But again, not making any assumptions, just making a statement. But if he's one of these guys with 5 baby mamas, I'd be like, bro, you don't really care about anything. Just go play the game, bro. I mean,
it might be a girlfriend, actually.
If Tyreek Hill had to do this, he'd miss the whole season.
Oh, jeez. Every month he'd have to miss the game.
Like has a baby every month. He'd miss the whole goddamn regular season.
11 kids, right.
He'd miss 11 games. Steve, let me ask you this. You just mentioned it. If the T-Wolves would have lost last night, this would be a huge story, right?
No, because they wanted to split. I mean, they wanted to split. I think after Saturday night, they're like, we're playing with house money. It looks like they might sweep them.
Thank you.
They look way too athletic and fresh for the Denver Nuggets. But the Denver Nuggets did what they did. They got rid of LeBron. For that, I thank you. You're still America's team, but you're going to get swept.
Steve, that's a great segue because I brought up to Smitty. I told Smitty, I said, Smitty, you are witnessing what basketball used to look like in the 90s. Full court press all day long in your grill. It frustrated Jamal Murray's never had it happen. He's throwing heating pads at people. I mean, I saw some shit last night I've never seen. A bunch of grown men playing professional sport, a man's sport, and a cat having a temper tantrum. Not only the head coach, Malone, jumped out on the half court at the ref, but Jamal Murray throws a heating pad onto the court, not once, but twice. And then I thought Joker actually gave up on his team last night. I thought that he was like kind of just going through the motions. But look, he threw it out there. It didn't get to the court. The guy picked it up for him. And then he throws it again, and it makes it to the court. And Anderson almost steps on it and rolls his ankle. So it could be a little dramatic by saying rolls his ankle, but you know what? He threw an object onto the court, Steve. I've seen cats get suspended multiple times. Not only fans for throwing it on the court, but a player from the bench. I've never seen anything like it. I lost a lot of respect for that team and organization last night because they act like they beat the Lakers last year, first time ever in a meaningful series, and they acted like they've won their 18th banner. And I'm like, come on, Nuggets. You used to wear Kobe Bryant jerseys in your crowd in Denver after Kobe shoved it in someone's ass. So anyway, let's dive into some boxing, Steve. Smitty, where you going? Smitty, I know you got some boxing questions.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of boxing news. I guess we'll start with Canelo Mugía. What's your overall take on the performance, on the fight? I know this is this will be my follow up. They're talking about potentially a Crawford and Canelo fight happening at the end of this year or beginning of next year. But starting off with the fight, what was your overall take on the performance?
Well, Canelo is no longer the guy he was, let's say, at his apex, but he's still a very tough out. Still has very good eyes, good anticipation, very crafty defensively. Very precise counterpuncher. He's not going to have the same volume that he once did, but he has to make less more, given the fact that was the 65th pro fight. So for a guy with that much mileage, he's still very good, though. It's going to take a really, really good to elite fighter on a really good night to overcome him. Munguia boxed pretty well at times. He fought well. He's going to get better from this experience. Just didn't have the feet or the quickness to kind of do what I think Freddie Roach wanted. Still got to work out some issues with the balance and keeping his head out and back of his front foot. But Canelo has an interesting decision. I don't want him to fight Edgar Berlanga. I think that's a mismatch. Jamal Charlo, I think the pilot light is out there. So if you said to me, Berlanga, Charlo, or Terrence Crawford moving up all that weight, I'd rather go with Crawford because I think Crawford has a boxing IQ. He's accomplished, and if there's such thing as deserved, look, he's probably no worse. And many people think he's number one. He's no worse than the second best fighter in the world, pound for pound. If he looks good August 3rd against Israel Madrimov, now it's only 2 weight classes. Look, in a perfect world, you wish you'd have a fight at middleweight. Then you could say, hey, we're only a division apart. But out of those 3, as I was telling Mario yesterday on the 3 knockdown rule, I would rather have Terrence Crawford, even with the size issue, because I just don't think those other 2 guys would really compete that well with Canelo.
Okay. I kind of agree with that too. Yeah. Another big time fight happened as well that people aren't talking about as much because I think it happened like 2 a.m. Your boy Inoue had a fight and he got knocked down, if I'm not mistaken, but he fought his way back and won in a big fashion. I guess, what was your view on this fight?
Yeah, he got clipped early on. I thought he was rushing himself. There was a lot of emotion on this fight because Louis Neri had been banned in Japan for failing a drug test and then purposely or not coming overweight and knocking out one of their favorite fighters. And so there was a lot of pressure on Inoue, not just to win, but to look great and to kind of punish Louis Neri. And I thought he came out from the very first punch where he had threw this overhand right. And I said, ooh, he's trying to force this thing. And he's going to, and then look, one thing that Inoue has to work on is that as he gets to facing bigger guys, which eventually he'll be at featherweight, he better make sure defensively his hand placement and the ability to tuck in that chin at times is a little tighter. He got a little bit loose when he got knocked down. Hand came away from his right hand, and he was way too upright for being inside. And he paid for it. But he has to realize right now, speed is now power for him. And as soon as he started working on being fast down the middle, he did a great job of tenderizing a very tough, hard-nosed Mexican. And you could see it in the 5th round that this was going to go one direction. And it was a great performance, another really good one. But I would hope that Shingo Inoue, who had 2 fighters, his 2 sons both got knocked down in the 1st round yesterday. So It was one of those nights that, look, you got to be a coach and say, look, we love the result. We're going to fix the process. That personally, if I was Inoue's trainer, I would not even play any clips of the knockdowns with my son because I know we can do that. I'd point out every defensive mistake, put him into 10-second clips, and we're going to fix that. Yeah. Congratulations on the win. I'm not kissing your ass now. We're going to do some work here. That's
what's up with the Davis Martin issue? All right,
they're fighting, and Tank Davis is trying to run up on Devin Haney, making it into a conflict. And I'm like, hey, Tank, you could have fought Devin. Devin lost. Has nothing to do with you. That's Ryan Garcia's work. And they had some incident in Vegas where the 2 camps got into it. And I'm thinking to myself, what if this gets dangerous? What if it gets really heated and something happens? Then what?
What is happening? What's happening with the Ryan Garcia latest? Any news?
Well, they're testing the sample B, which is basically the same pool of urine from sample A. And then when the findings of that come in, I believe that the legal process whether it's the New York State Athletic Commission, the attorneys for both camps. They'll start to do the legal machinations. It'll be, either a smear campaign against guys like Victor Conte, who really had nothing to do with the testing. By the way, we had Victor Conte on the 3 knockdown rule, which comes out later today, which I'm sure is going to piss off a lot of people, which makes me laugh. And then they're going to go through it. So we're going to find out, number one, what is the sample B? What are the test results of that? What else may or may not have been in the system? And then I believe the New York State Athletic Commission has a determination based on those results. Is there a suspension in order, and how long will that be?
Is there a possibility, because I was hearing like just rumors just online, is there a possibility that Haney could get that loss off his record?
Yeah, in theory he could, but here's the thing though. But Smitty, the fight happened. You can't take away the punishment and the residual effects. And also with Haney, you've got to clean up some stuff defensively. No matter what was in the system of Ryan Garcia, he made some mistakes. He hung a lot of curveballs. And I still think, if you're honest about it, if you're Devin, you got to say to yourself, do I need a dedicated full-time trainer? Because whether Ryan Garcia was juiced up or not, the way he got hit had nothing to do with the drugs. Now, the drugs do matter. There's a reason why you take them. As you like to say, Smitty, both things can be true. One guy could be doing something illicit, but you could also be very flawed fundamentally and technically.
Yeah, 100%. Now, one more question about Ryan Garcia for me. Do you have a response, or have you responded to this is a little older now, but to Ryan Garcia's dad, just with all the talk to you and calling your name, this, that, and the third. Now with the new information that his son may have, taken some steroids for that fight, is there a message that you have for his father at this point, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really put one out. I've had some fun with this. I don't really think that. Look, Henry Garcia, he's parasitic. He has to live off of his son. In a way, I kind of understand why he's behaving the way he does. He lives off his son. It's, like I said, parasitic, which is fine. He's not the only one. But Henry Garcia is not a guy that I really take all that seriously. So it is what it is. All I can really say to them is good luck. I hope this works out for you.
Yeah, no doubt. Steve, let's dive into some football real quick. I want to ask you. I don't know if you've heard the news in the college football world that this so-called revenue streaming is supposed to pay out $2.7 billion in lawsuits. If that's the case, I don't know how many people really benefit from it, the players, but do you see this changing the landscape of college football? Because unionization is probably next, employees of the state or the schools probably after that. And now we're going to have cats on sick leave and getting benefits. What is college football becoming in the next few years? Do you even see the NCAA being a part of it, or are they going to wipe their hands clean and the Power Fives leave?
Well, I think that's already happening. That the major conferences, buoyed by a couple of networks, are going to, branch off into their own legislative entity of college football at the Division I level, specifically about 65 schools and all that other stuff. I really don't know. But look, if you're going to turn this into pro football, then I think the colleges or the programs themselves should start saying, okay, we're going to have multi-year contracts then. If you're going to turn it into that, so a guy cannot just leave after 6 months. I would tie NIL specifically into that school or into that zip code. And I would also make deferred payments like, hey, you're going to get some money, but you have to complete your eligibility to get all the money at our school. Because if you want to make it a business, you want to be a mercenary, that goes both ways. I don't think a kid, or I don't think someone should commit to a school, get a bunch of NIL money and say, okay, now I'm gone. No, I would structure it in a way that even if you're the worst player on earth, you're going to have to be with us for the duration of this agreement before you get the money. Look, you want to be a professional, fine, but that comes with professional obligations.
Steve, we got a question from the audience. Cisco, who flaked out on coming over for poker last weekend with you to watch the fight, texted me just now and said he said if he recollects correctly, he's a boxing fan. Didn't De La Hoya KO Vargas when Vargas was on the juice?
Yeah, he did. But again, first of all, Fernando's chin was never the same after Trinidad. That's why Oscar faced him when he did, because when Trinidad faced Vargas, this was December of 2000. I was actually at that fight. That took a lot out of him. He was never the same. It was a vicious beating in the 12th round after what was a courageous effort. And then the first time Fernando fought after that, he fought Wilfredo Rivera, and I believe it was in El Paso. They was a welterweight. He moved up in weight, and when he floored Fernando, it was all the evidence that we needed. Like, Fernando still has a great heart, great spirit, but the chin is not there. And at that point, I believe Oscar said, this guy's very vulnerable. Let's do it. And Fernando, yes, he tested positive. I remember actually breaking that story. But if you have a bad chin and your punch resistance has been rubbed down, I don't even think steroids could really fix it, to be honest with you.
That's a good point. And real quick, I'm glad you brought up you brought my guy up. So before the fight started, during like the whole press conference, Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo had some little argument or whatever. Can you explain a little bit more on that situation? Why is there a beef? Why is because I didn't have the knowledge of what.
Yeah, Oscar's company developed Canelo for the most part. They didn't start him off, but they took him over about a decade ago. I think it was like 2010, 2011. Developed him, nurtured him, did all the matchmaking, promoted most of his fights in that era. And so they had a large say in what happened. They played a role. There's no doubt about it. Then in the last couple of years, as Oscar's behavior became a little bit more irresponsible, and he didn't show up to events, didn't come to press conferences. I've been told one time they were supposed to have dinner. Oscar never showed up. And I'm thinking to myself, Oscar, that's your number one client. You don't miss that dinner. Look, I like Oscar a lot, but I know what he is. He can be a guy that when he's on his A game, he's great for the company, for the sport. He signs every autograph, does all the interviews. He gives you great stuff. He's fun. But there are times when he has dark moments when some of his demons take over, and then you don't see him for 4, 5, 6 months, and he's not there. And to me, those things right there have placed Golden Boy in a very tough situation. However, Oscar made it a point to say, hold on, you've talked a lot about us and me. Be respectful of the role that we played. And I don't think he's wrong about that, to be honest with you. But then I don't really criticize Canelo. Canelo's allowed to say, well, you were a clown show for a little while. So they're both right. People want to take sides because they're groupies. My view is I'm Switzerland. It is what it is. These are two grown men exercising their First Amendment rights.
Two things can be true, Steve. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
JB?
No, it can't. Steve, before you get out of here, I want to dive into Joe Burrow. Seems to be back on the football field, no cast, throwing the football around. I don't know what they're going to do with T. Higgins. I know they haven't apparently negotiated his contract any further, and I know other teams need wideouts. There's still discussions in Frisco. The ball has a little more wobble than I'm used to, though. I'm just going to throw that out there. Hey, Smitty.
Coach, it's May.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, JV.
Coach, it's May. He's throwing against air. I get it.
You're out there.
I get it. That's not a Warren Moon spiral, but that's like seeing a fighter, who hasn't fought in 5 months, who's 5 months away from another fight, shadow boxing, and he doesn't look like Ray Robinson. I think you're making a little too much out of that.
Hey, if he doesn't have a good season, though, this is a huge issue when a quarterback throwing the ball. FYI, the wrist that holds the football is probably number one.
Right. Well, again, though, we are still 2.5, 3 months away from the start of training camp. I mean,
yeah.
My God.
I'm just telling you, watch out. He could be let me ask you this. If Joe Burrow gets hurt again, would you start to consider him as an overpaid quarterback?
Well, look, I think what he is a very talented one, but he's injury prone. That's the record.
I mean, we give a lot of cats to get hurt on this show. Heat. I'm just saying, we got to keep it funky. This guy gets hurt again. we got a discussion to have here about Joe Burrow because this guy's missed more than he's played at that point.
Yep.
It is imperative that Joe Burrow be available. Now, last year, didn't he get hit on a non-contact thing, just dropping back?
Preseason, he was rolling out, and then something happened. He started hopping on that one leg, something to his calf.
Right. So, and he never seemed to get into the groove. But look, Joe Burrow is a gifted thrower of the ball. He has arm talent. He has anticipation. He has touch. He can make every pass. You got to be there, though. You got to be there. You make the most amount of money. You're the face of the franchise. You have some weapons around you. Although they may not be the same weapons, you still have Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So, look, this is a big year for the Bengals. They've invested a lot of money into you. There is an expectation of performance. That's the business.
Don't be surprised if the Bengals are last in the AFC North this year, though. I'm going to say that.
Wow.
The Steelers, I think, are going to be a lot better. The Ravens are still going to be 1 or 2, I think. And the Cleveland Browns, say we want about Deshaun, that team, even with the lack of quarterback, is still really good. Exactly. So
they made the playoffs.
Hey, Steve, I got to ask you before you get out of here. This is it. Hell yeah or hell no. Does Justin Fields return kicks this?
He shouldn't. That's almost an insult to say that. If I am a quarterback, and specifically a black athletic one, you do that to me, I'd be like, time out. Hold on, brother. Oh, you better get someone else to do that. Look, and it's been – I remember Joe Theismann – I don't remember, but Joe Theismann, when he was a young quarterback, was so desperate to get up on the field, he actually returned punts and kickoffs. Little Joe Theismann. This is like when George Allen was the coach, and I think they had like Billy Kilmer and Sonny Jurgensen, and he was maybe third-string quarterback. I may be wrong, but he said, okay, let me get out there because Joe was a very good athlete at one time. I remember Jeff Hostetler. People forget Jeff Hostetler – when he was a backup for Phil Simms, he was a good enough athlete. He actually played like 4th receiver. And I think he's the only starting quarterback in a Super Bowl that on his stat sheet, he has a blocked punt. But that's a different era. But let me just tell you that if I'm Justin Fields and I've started 35, 40 games, and you're saying, hey, Justin, how'd you like to return kicks? I'd be like, how'd you like to trade me? You're either going to treat me like a quarterback or you're not. I'm sorry. I'm not. Maybe in your rookie year, Justin Fields should have some self-respect and say, no, we're not doing that. You're treating me like a quarterback. Treat me like a slow white guy. Okay, come on. I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it.
My only fight back is I said that I wouldn't be shocked at all if we see it for the simple fact that kickoff rules changed, and I could see him running catch with that 5-yard block wall or whatever they're doing. And the XFL rules, and it's Cordell Stewart all over again. So, I mean.
No, but here's the difference. Cordell went from slash to quarterback, and we can make an argument that Cordell was a bit limited as a full-time quarterback, which he was, even though he had some good years. The league caught up to him. Here's the problem. Let's say Justin Fields does his version of Devin Hester for the first month. Then the next thing is going to be like, hey, man, you're so good with that ball in your hands. Why don't you take some reps at wideout? Why don't we line you up at running back? Well, guess what? Then they're now looking at you as a quarterback.
You imagine Cordell Patterson and Justin Fields back there on kickoff return with a wall?
JB, stop, bro. There's a lot of fast people out there to put out there. Why get him? Why get him as your backup quarterback to put him in there? That's stupid. That's just stupid.
Again, why don't you get it? They got him for a Chico stick and string cheese. They didn't pay for him. They're not giving him no money, Smitty.
Russ can get hurt.
He is not being paid by them.
I understand what you're saying, but what happens? So let's say, God forbid, Justin returns a kick. He gets hurt. Let's say Russ is an older quarterback who we've seen hurt before. Russ gets hurt. Now who they gonna put in? I don't know who the third string guy is. I have no idea.
If Justin Fields looks at himself as a full-time quarterback, this move here, you just respectfully decline.
Quarterback killer. There's no way Mike Tomlin's asking this. I hope this just is like a Twitter fucking rumor that's not for real. There's no way Tom is asking this.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, if you're a full-time quarterback in your mind and you still feel like, hey, my best football is still in front of me, you're not thinking about doing special teams. Come on.
JB, we were on this show arguing about why the Bears should stay with Justin Fields and shouldn't draft Caleb Williams. We were on it. So we can go from there to saying, shit, return kicks. Well, if that's the case, the Bears made a hell of a decision. They made the right decision to go ahead and get Caleb Williams. If we're even considering that just official return kicks.
Remember two things can be true.
Nah, you just said it couldn't. 2 minutes ago.
Remember two things can be true? Hold on, Steve. We're talking about a guy that we're talking about putting back there because the game has changed. The shit's changed. He's not in Chicago no more. He got traded out of there. So guess what? I'd be trying to get on the field. Steve, I had Walter Payton's son on here, and I called Justin Fields a fucking running back to Walter Payton's son. I said, this guy is your dad. This guy's your dad. And now all of a sudden he's too good to return kicks.
I'm just saying, if Justin Fields in his mind is going to be like, one day I will be a bona fide starting quarterback in the National Football League, I'm not doing this. I remember a Jason Thomas who was a legend at I coach Jason. Yeah, Dominguez High. Jason Thomas, one of the best high school basketball, football, dual threat athletes I've ever seen, and he went to USC
first. Then he went to UNLV.
Right, and they also had Carson Palmer. And when John Robinson brought up the fact, well, maybe we'll put Jason Thomas on the return game, I remember Jason Thomas's father said, hold on. If you think Jason Thomas is a kick or punt returner, then you don't think he's a quarterback.
And you know what? Interesting fact about Jason. He is the first NCAA player ever to be allowed to transfer and follow his coach. Ever.
John Robinson, right?
John Robinson. He followed John Robinson from SC to UNLV, and they won a bowl game. They beat Arkansas, an SEC team. That is how good that team was. They had a little running back named Rudolph from Florida. They had my boy Nate Turner, who was the receiver. And they were actually a real good team in Vegas. They beat Arkansas with Boo Williams. My boy was a tight end on the team, who's now a big-time owns a big weed company. And the rest is history. They had a really good team, and he went heavy JUCO. John Robinson did. But that was the first guy that the NCAA allowed to transfer and follow the coach. And it's crazy now that it's like a problem. You can't follow the coach, but you can enter the portal 14 times. I don't get it.
Yeah, if I'm Justin Fields, I just respectfully decline that offer.
Yeah, there's no way I'm doing it. There's no way I'm doing it. Trade me again or something then. I'm not doing it here. So.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, appreciate you moving into the studio little by little. So I'll be downtown LA all day after the show. And then when's the next fight?
Well, there's fights this week. It's a week-to-week sport. Kambosos fights. Vasyl Lomachenko Sunday morning in Australia, primetime on ESPN.
I forgot about that. That's a good fight. It's a
lot
of good fights.
When's the next big fight before football season that we can have here?
I'm not even sure. It's a blur to me.
Well, you got Tyson Fury fights at the end of the month.
Usyk, the 18th.
Usyk, that's end of May. Yeah,
whatever.
Who's he fight?
Usyk and Fury. It's a big time fight.
When is Tyson fighting fucking YouTube?
That's like
whatever. That's
not a real fight. We're not really worried about that.
Hey, Steve, you on Whitlock later?
Not today. My segment on the Tom Brady roast is out right now, though, on the Fearless Network or the channel.
All right, I gotta go watch.
All right, guys.
All right, Steve, appreciate you.
Talk to you. Bye.
Later.
Steve be trying to leave. Steve be trying to get up out of here, and you be asking me.
Works out at 8.
So what?
Steve works out at 8.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Steve dedicated.
He goes and gets his workout in. He punches the bag. He does little shit like that.
Okay. I think I'm gonna slow down my working out, man, and just focus on just getting money for a minute, and then I'm still gonna work out. But I'm just saying, like, I've been so dedicated on my workout and on my fitness journey that, like, one thing I'm learning right now, JB, you might disagree. You can't put full effort into everything. If that makes sense. Like, you can't, like, my football mindset is always like, okay, I could be the greatest workout person. I could be the greatest business person. I could be the greatest at my job. I could be the greatest. You got so many different things in my life right now. And I just been sitting back and trying to think, like, how can I got to maximize something.
Oh, you're finally listening to me.
Nah, you never told me this before ever.
No, I have said it. You just didn't listen. See, you heard me, but you didn't listen to this.
Well, I mean, you're a poor teacher. You didn't say it properly. That's your fault.
What I actually told you is, see, I'm the guy that when I die, y'all are going to be pulling up all my old quotes and all the shit I used to say. And you're going to be like, damn, JB been saying this shit for years. JB was right. JB been saying this shit. JB submitted. What did I say on Netflix all the time to my staff? You cannot save them all. You will spread yourself out too thin. Save one at a time. Save one. Over years, you have saved hundreds or thousands. You can't do everything. Only I can.
Nah, you can't either. And the problem is I be stressing myself out because I'm like, damn, like, all right, it's so many. Yeah, we having therapy right now. It's so many different areas in life as a man, especially a young man, that you want to excel in. You want to get your money right, of course, your career goals. You want to be healthy and eat right and get in shape. I'm married. You got to make sure the relationship is good and the marriage life is good. You want to make sure. So there's so many different things that are all important in their own way. And you have to figure out as a man how to divvy up your time for each thing and figure out what's the most important thing now. And I'm struggling with that right now. And I'm being real with y'all in the chat.
I could help you real quick.
Help me right now.
Starts by making your fucking bed. So it starts by making your fucking bed right out the gate. See, when you start subconsciously doing things without having to think about them, they're called subcategories in life. As a grown man, when you get a certain age, you have subcategories that you should not put in the same category as my life balance. So making your bed in the morning starts the priority number one. Number two, your diet should be a way of life, your lifestyle, not a category that I cannot handle. It should not be a thought process. So if I eat this and this is my regiment, this is what I do. It's a subcategory. It's not a part of harnessing my growth in some other area. So if I wake up and make my bed, my priorities start. My diet is my diet, period. Do I have a few cookies on the weekend? Cool. But I got to know I'm going to go do some jump rope the next day for that. But my diet stays my diet consistently. What I do in life in general, chasing money or whatever, that is now my hustle. Mm-hmm. So my hustle has to be separate than my subcategories, which is basically my lifestyle. You got to ask your question, what is my lifestyle? Because you're acting like you got all these things going on. Nah, what is my lifestyle? I drink and smoke cigars. That's my lifestyle.
Like period. Like, that's just what it
That's
is.
my lifestyle. So I drink, smoke cigars. What is your lifestyle? Like, you got to ask yourself your lifestyle first before you can create a goal or a set of goals to attain or set some sort of mission statement. Like, dog, you should have a mission statement as your life in your life. You should have a mission statement in life. Damn, I got a philosophy. I got my own philosophy. So, like, you should have your own philosophy, just like coaching. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about Big Smitty and I's top of the world, bottom of the barrel, top 5 and bottom 5 most overrated and underrated head NBA basketball coaches currently right now, which will be a good debate. We'll be back in 4.
I don't know if you've seen it, but in Seattle has something going on with the judicial department.
Let me check on that.
So we were talking May 6th, 8:45?
Yeah.
That works for me.
All right.
Do I need to sign anything?
No.
Just out of here. My comment about my client?
Yeah.
I just met her. She's really nice. She's really smart. She sounds like she's got the right idea about things. I really support what she's up to, and I think it's fabulous. How about that?
God, she's accused of, what is it, criminal trespass?
In the first degree, yes.
Is she innocent or guilty?
She's innocent, of course.
She's innocent, okay. Well, she's caught on video being arrested and protesting and allegedly protesting. So I'm trying to get all sides. So
my client has pled not guilty. My name is Stephanie Mueller. I'm in the directory for the Washington State Bar Association.
Its name is Stephanie.
What was her voice? What was her voice so deep?
Its name is Stephanie. This is why women cannot coach men in the NBA, Smitty. This is what you have to understand is what's coming down the pipe, Smitty. This is why the women cannot be the head coach. Let me retract my statement. Women can coach in the NBA, and I think they should. They're very capable. I don't believe a woman should be a head coach of men in any sport because of situations like this. The delusion is flooding our brains. The delusion is flooding our brains. Did you drink? Are you okay? Because you had a lot of drink there. The delusion is flooding our brains. Did you see that motherfucker's nipples? Motherfuckers was hard as shit.
Bro got triple Z's.
But look how the nipple just poking out like it's like a laser beam.
It can shoot out of him.
There's no way I could call that thing Stephanie.
If she put her hands on you, like, what would you do?
I fuck choke the shit out of it. I'm just saying, dog. Like, imagine Smitty, real shit. Like, I've been falsely accused of things, right? I'm sure we all have. But legality wise, criminally, I've been accused falsely. Mm-hmm. And I had to say, fuck no, I ain't pleading to shit that I didn't do, which I did. And of course I won, clearly no issue. Here's the problem I have. Imagine come out of court and that motherfucker greets you as your public defender. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Well, my name is Stephanie, and I'm here to get you off all fucking charges. Are you ready to? Are you ready to fight this good fight? Motherfucking titties is out in your face. Motherfucker got titties and nipples. Hey, my name is Stephanie. I'm ready to fight the good fight. Are you? I'm also ready to fucking club the fucking offensive tackle and put that motherfucker in the QB's lap. Are you ready?
Why you sound like a superhero? Why'd your voice sound like a superhero?
Did you hear that motherfucker? Homie, did you hear the fucking voice? I mean, it's unbelievable. Just reenact this with me. Like I'm walking out, okay? I just got fucking horrible news. Jason Brown, please stand. Yes, Your Honor. We are charging you with the felony accusations of ABCD. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Please be your arraignment will be set for February 21st. Please go outside, meet with your public defender as what is it? She is awaiting you. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, I'm gonna walk out. Bailey, cue it up. Bailey, show what I'm walking out to. I'm walking out to court. I'm walking out to meet my fucking public defender. And what is your name, sir?
She sounds like she's got the right idea about things. I really support.
Excuse me? What? 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 Judge, convict me now! Please take me to jail! Yes, sir.
Woo! We are back in the final 40, man. It's been a loaded show. Great debate, great discussion. Steve Kim, educators on the boxing side. We talked about Jamal Murray throwing hot packs on the court because he's having a temper tantrum. We gave you a Smitty said so. We gave you a JB rant. Yeah, y'all still ain't hit the like button. Make it make sense, JB. We got 20 likes in here.
Hey, I got some questions for Smitty, though, that I got from our fans.
Oh, shoot. Talk to me. What the fans want to know.
So, this is a question segment brought to you by Prize picks. Smitty says so. Question segment. All right, Smitty. What is the one food you cannot live without?
Tacos. I have to have tacos for the rest of my life. Now, I want to answer with more of a broader category and say Mexican food because I like to eat quesadillas, fajitas.
What kind of food?
Mexican food.
Mexican
food. It's tough though. It's between tacos and chicken wings. I really love wings and tacos. That's my top two: wings and tacos.
Really?
Yeah, I can't live without those two.
If I was asked that question, sushi.
Really?
Yeah, sushi or some sort of seafood. Yeah.
You bougie as hell. That's the LA answer. Saying sushi, I can't live without. Sushi is like a luxury. That's something I eat every now and then, a couple times a year. For you to say you can't live without it, that means you eat that on the regular. That's like some damn pizza rolls for you. It's a regular thing for you.
Hey, sushi's a California on the ocean, dog. Shit. Oh, see Lucy, that Texas Mexican. She don't know about sushi, and you better not eat no sushi in Galveston. That shit is horrible.
Yeah, I thought all sushi was nasty at first when I first came out here, and I didn't understand it. But the right sushi be good. Now I don't eat the raw sushi personally. I eat more of the actual California roll, fucking shrimp tempura.
The Brian Cases and the Baileys of the world. You youngsters, man, y'all don't eat pussy either. Let's keep it funky.
Keep it real. Now I will agree with you on that. A lot of these cats are not eating it.
And you don't eat pussy right. If you
they down there kissing the pussy, they ain't making love to it.
Bailey and Brian, like the broad just be like, stop, just stop.
Let me
find a clip.
They still got that young little teenager mindset because you know growing up as men or when you're a boy, at least when I was young, when you like 13, 14, you be talking to the homies like, I ain't gonna never eat no girl pussy. That's nasty as hell. She gonna get me head. I ain't never. And then you become a grown ass man and you like, shit, I eat that.
It's
crazy.
Whole
mindset shit.
It's crazy, dog. Like this again. It's the idiocracies and the hypocrisies of the people that I see that comment all the time.
Yeah.
So, I posted that I was fasting. I was eating some fish last week. I ate fish 3 days in a row. Motherfucker posted, Coach, be careful of the heavy metals. I said, what? The heavy metals in fish? Listen, dumb fuck. So one day, if I posted I ate steak 3 days in a row, this motherfucker would say, too much fucking meat doesn't digest properly. I do for fish 3 days in a row. Heavy metals.
Right.
And I'm sure mercury too, right? Fuck boy. Oh, this mercury. When are you guys going to realize it doesn't fucking matter what you eat? We're all going to die of something. You're all going to get sick of something. Stop. It don't matter. You think I'm going to stop eating because of fucking heavy metals in the fish? Shut the fuck up. I'll eat fish every single day of my life. I don't give a fuck. Stop. The same with fucking chicken. Same with meat. Same with red meat. Too red. Not cooked enough. Shut. Everybody has a fucking something for something.
I'm about to say, I've seen videos on everything. I've seen if you drink too much water, you can end up with H2O-itis and end up dying.
Chick-fil-A right now. You got rubber chicken. You still
bounce. They're adding antibiotics to our chicken.
You'll bounce past Chick-fil-A right to your girl right now.
Damn, eat that motherfucker. Tear them up.
You don't care. Nobody cares. I don't need to hear it, Dad. I don't want to hear it.
They're just looking out for you, JB. They care about your health.
Yeah, no, they're not. They need to stay in their lane. Because I would be, you know what? Here's the cold part, Smitty. I don't give a fuck what you eat. I don't give a fuck what you drink, what you eat, how you drive, what you say. I don't give a fuck about anything out there that you do, people. I don't care. I stay in my lane. Guess what? Rest in peace. Oh, you did a wheelie on your bike going 90? Rest in peace. The guy, I opened my door in the traffic when your bike was trying to drive through traffic. Well, rest in peace. Listen, I don't give a fuck what you do, dog. I don't. I wish people would start worrying about themselves. That's why we have so many problems right now. That's why we got problems right now. Motherfuckers worry about them other motherfuckers. They worry about that. But then they won't tell you that they're the ones being cheating on their wife, stealing and robbing. The most hypocritical motherfuckers will worry about you, but these motherfuckers, Giselle Bundchen or whatever her name is fucking worried about how they talked about her family when you disrespected the fuck out of one of the most popular people on planet Earth and Tom Brady and the family. Like, get the fuck out of here. The hypocrisy is unbelievable, dog. It blows my mind. I got some more questions. This is the last day that you can use your phone ever, Smitty. Who are you calling or texting, and what are you saying? That's it. This is your last text or call. So this is it, homie. After that, the phones go dead. Hamas got us.
Damn, that's a fire-ass question. Shout out whoever asked that.
That's me. I made the shit up.
It's tough because it kind of depends. Like, you said the fans ask questions. Don't lie.
Yeah, I had to say that but if you notice, I was waiting for somebody to say, when did you put it out? Because I haven't. Have you seen anything on Instagram or Twitter? You would have saw it.
Discord.
You would have saw it. I ain't even been in the Discord in a minute. I got to get back in there.
No, it's winnable. I think you put some on winnable. I'm trying to think, man, because that's a good question. It depends who I'm with at the time and what last text. So, like, the world ain't ending. I just can't. It's just my last day with my phone. So, it ain't like the world. It ain't like I'm gonna die.
If you're someone like me who don't have his dad anymore. Or something like, what if you don't have a parent either? See? So, you got to ask, who do you really? You got your parents. So, I know that's tough. You got your wife. Hopefully your wife will come home that night and you'll see her though.
Right. That you see, that's exactly. So that's my mind is that.
That's a tough question, dog.
I think I would who would I hit up? I'm trying to think. I would definitely shoot a text message. It wouldn't be a call. I would shoot a text message.
That's your generation though.
To
text message a motherfucker.
Some sort of government official. And say OJ didn't do it, and that'd be my final text. I was. Why Jimmy? Hey homie, why Jimmy roll his eyes like that, homie?
Because you defend Aaron Hernandez.
Y'all see? Hey, I made Jimmy roll his eye. He'll never roll his eye. That's some Paul's activity. A man rolling their eyes, contrary to belief. He was rolling his eyes like a mother. You see that, homie? TJ, homie.
Stop saying homie.
Oh man, that's a good question though. But on a real, I probably
You can't answer.
I probably hit my mama up.
Mama.
Yeah, I call my mama on a serious answer. Because like you said, my wife's coming home, so I don't need to call her. She's gonna be here. So I'll call my mom, let her know, hey, this is it. No more phones. Don't be worrying about me. You might have to send me an old school letter through the mail. Express.
I wish we could get back to mailing letter. I bet you your generation, any generation under you, maybe your generation, I bet you they can't even address an envelope. That's real shit. I don't know, dog. I want to ask these young kids in here, where does the address go when you send compared to where your address is?
Somebody call in.
Let me know in the chat. By the way, phone lines are getting hooked up in the studio today because we're going to be able to take live calls live like a real show, boom.
This studio is going to be crazy, y'all. I wish we could show y'all. It's early stages, but the furniture that we got is dope. I think once we get our little table, desk, whatever we decide, situation figured out, that's going to be another element with the mural in the back.
All right. So your mom. All right. This is the last day you can listen to music. What is your last song that you want to hear? Yeah, Leah, exactly. I want to see a cursive fucking letter written to your girl or your boyfriend right now. Somebody in the chat, write a letter. I bet you motherfuckers couldn't even. I bet you don't even know what cursive is. Shit. Have you seen motherfuckers taking their text messages to a letter in class and learning how to write? They can't even write a paper. A motherfucker has LOL in it. SMH. What? Motherfucker wrote SMH, comma. I wish I didn't see this, comma, LOL, comma, SMH. What? That was a letter. The motherfucker turned that shit in to get his fucking doctorate degree. We're fucked as a society. But go ahead. Last song, I guess. Yeah.
Damn, JB, you asking impossible questions.
This wasn't a 30-minute segment either, by the way.
You asking impossible questions. I'm gonna just say, because I ain't fuck, man. It's like, damn. I'm gonna go International Players Ball. Am I saying it right? Yeah. Yep.
What?
Am I saying it right? Our Players Anthem.
By who?
By everybody. We have the legend. Where's you? UGK? Come on, International Players Anthem. No, I ain't tripping. Come on now, by UGK.
I'm tripping. Wow. Anyway, let's move on. You fucked this up.
No, I didn't.
We got 2 more questions.
Hell on, you don't like UGK and Outkast?
No, we got 2 more questions.
All right.
Now this is from a fan. Your least favorite part of being on this show as JB's co-host?
This is literally from JB. He's trying to use this as I know he a coach. He's trying to use this as a way for me to critique him or the show to figure out.
I got this from a DM. I'll send you the DM.
My least favorite part. These some tough questions y'all asking me. I don't like these. Let me see. My least favorite part. What are
your least favorite part of being on this show as the co-host? Make sure you listen to the whole question.
Yeah.
It's not about being a guest. You're not a guest. You're not a.
I'm trying to see. So I guess if I have to pick one thing, sometimes I get caught off guard, with certain topics that was not prepared for coming into the show. So we'll have a rundown of again, it's not scripted. We just know what we're gonna talk about. But then sometimes JB has something random that just come to his mind out of nowhere, and then boom, and it's a bomb. And it's like, oh shit, I ain't even fuck. I ain't even. Should Donald Trump and Biden fight today? I'm like, whoa, I don't know. Fuck, what happened? I guess if I had to pick one thing, it'd just be those random bombs that get dropped, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go here. I don't even know what we're doing. So if I had to be nitpicky, that's probably what I would pick. But I love being on the show. We have a good time, man. It's fun.
All right, well, flip the question. The last question: your most favorite part of being on this show?
Man, I just think just shooting the shit with you, man. I think you're one of the guys that, again, whether I agree or disagree, you're not gonna hold your tongue. And I think in a society where everything's PC and everybody's worried about, again, getting canceled or worried about how someone will react, it's refreshing to host on a show with somebody who's complete opposite of that, and also be able to disagree. And we argue sometimes, we go at it, but we're men enough to be like, all right, cool. We good. It's never been a point where I'm like, oh, we're really beefing and we're really into it because of a disagreement. It's like, no, we disagree, and then we move on. And I don't think in today's society, you don't get that a lot. Men will disagree, and now they want to actually hate each other and fight. And so, you know what I mean? So that's probably one of the best things. And then it's just fun. It's a fun way to start your morning off. You know what I'm saying? I literally wake up, say my prayer, brush my teeth, hop on, and we just have a hell of a time, So yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
Yep.
All right, let's dive into the final few minutes. Let's dive into this real quick. I want to do a top of the world, bottom of the barrel.
Ooh, forgot about this.
Yeah, we got a loaded show. Top of the world, bottom of the barrel. Let's start with you, Smitty. As we got 4,200 people watching the show across all platforms right now. Shout out to everybody. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. Remember, our GoFundMe is out there, and we are willing to help and bring the top 5 contributors over to a poker party and barbecue, hanging out with us and all our boys and females and everybody else. Come through, top 5 contributors, as we're trying to find and get our cameras, audio, and visual set up for the new studio, plus some furniture and shit that I'm already funding myself. So let's dive into that. Go on over to the link right there, GoFundMe for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Let's dive into the bottom of the barrel. Let's start with your least or most overrated head NBA coaches right now.
Overrated. We went with the overrated first. Okay, so starting at bring my list up. Then we got the picture right here. Boom. Starting at number 5. I know I'm going to get a lot of hell for this, but I got Michael Malone. Now, again, do I think he's a good coach? Absolutely. They won the championship last year. That's one of the best teams in the NBA last few years. Mike Malone is a good coach, but this goes back to the beginning of our show. Mike Malone is the head of the snake when it comes to just how that organization or how that team, the vibe of that team, how they think, how they move. And again, these guys won 1 championship. That's it. And you would have thought they won a damn 3-peat. And to me, that stems from Mike Malone as the head coach, and that trickles down to the players, and that trickles down to why you see Jamal Murray throwing a damn hot pocket or a hot pack or cold pack in the middle of the damn court. So good coach, but I think we've given them too many flowers early. Number 4, Billy Donovan. Again, at the college level, Billy Donovan's a legend. I would never disrespect him at the college level. But in the NBA, as a head coach, what has he done? I just don't think, and I think sometimes we get the two things misconstrued, and we hear the name Billy Donovan, and we think about the college days in Florida and all that, and then we compare that or connect that to the NFL, to NBA, excuse me, and it's not the same. Number 3, and I hate to do this to my brother, Mike Brown. No, Mike Brown's been one of those guys who, hopped around a lot of teams, coached a lot of teams, man, a lot of teams. Has some good teams, has some average teams, but regardless, he's never got over the hump. I think the closest he got to, I think he was the head coach, if I'm not mistaken, of the Cavs team, like LeBron's first Cavs team that went to the finals, if I'm not mistaken. Outside of that, as a head coach, as a head guy, he hasn't done too much, man. Last year the Kings had a special run. Obviously had an amazing series against the Golden State Warriors. They get knocked out. Everyone's assuming that they're going to come back this year and be like a top 3 seed and this, that, and the third, and they missed the playoffs. So it's like, damn, I feel like Mike Brown cannot sustain greatness for whatever reason. Number 2, Frank Vogel. I think his best years was with the Indiana Pacers. I think they made to Eastern Conference Finals with him. Obviously I know he has the bubble championship, and I think that's kind of the one thing that the Frank Vogel fans will use to hold on to and say, hey, he is a hell of a coach. Look at this. I just think, again, he's not a bad coach, but when we talk about the greats of this era or the best coaches of this era, I just feel like Vogel's name gets popped into the conversations, and even just look at what has transpired. Every time he gets fired, he gets another job like this. He gets another, he just keeps getting opportunities. Like, damn, at some point you gotta get teams over the hump, and that leads into the number 1 pick, obviously Doc Rivers, man. The guy, last time he won the championship, I was like in the 8th grade, and he had one of the all-time great teams. Literally one of the all-time great teams, 3 Hall of Famer, shit, really maybe 4. I don't know if Rondo will get in or not, but that's just a loaded team, and to get 1 chip with that team is crazy. Then you go to the Clippers in Chip City, as Marcellus likes to call them, and you have prime Blake Griffin, prime DeAndre Jordan, still prime Chris Paul, all these cats over here. I think Jamal Crawford was on that team. I think Matt Barnes was there. You had a loaded squad. Don't do anything. I don't think they made the West Conference Finals. Then you go to Philly. You had James Harden, Joel Embiid, MVP. You don't do nothing. Then you get to the Bucks. You got Dame Dollar, Giannis, and I get Giannis got hurt, but even before the playoffs, they were playing horribly in the season, the way they ended the regular season. So I was like, bro, you've had some of the all-time great, talented teams, and you ain't did shit with them. You got one ring, and that's hard to do. I'm not trying to discredit that one ring, but considering all the great teams he's had, Doc Rivers is definitely overrated. So that's my 5 right there.
Let's bring up JB's top 5 overrated. My overrated is a little different because
we share 2 of the same.
Tyronn Lue keeps getting fucking praised for some reason, and I'm trying to find out why it is. I'm trying to fucking find out why Tyronn Lue gets so much love in this fucking business. He has won to the thank of Kyrie Irving's shot. What else has this guy done on his own, getting new job after new job, everyone anointing him as the savior of their organization? He has done nothing. I'm trying to figure out what Tyronn Lue has really done. Y'all talk about Doc Rivers so bad. What the fuck has he done? Tyronn Lue is right there with Doc Rivers, just FYI. I'm just trying to figure out why he is so revered in this league. And I'll wait until you guys tell me. Quinn Snyder, again, I liked him in college. I liked him at the bar in Missouri. I was actually there at the time. He was fucking with this broad. He got basically blasted and kind of got ostracized out of college basketball. Smitty, you're probably too young to even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting into the league, and then the rest is the rest. Taylor Jenkins, man, a guy that has allowed this roster, which is really talented, to basically implode. I blame him specifically for the happenings that have occurred there. The bad job of managing a roster, which is the number one job as a coach. He has allowed that roster to step all over that motherfucker in Memphis. Number 2, Doc Rivers. We already talked about. Number 1, though, Mike Brown. Again, the same thing. Tyronn Lue and Doc Rivers get talked about. Why is Mike Brown getting a pass? Why is he so fucking revered? He's a great defensive coach, really. He was shitty at the Lakers. He's been shitty here with a loaded roster again. Sacramento has a very fucking good roster. These cats have been eliminated by Golden State in the play-in year after year. Last year, this year, they don't even get in the goddamn tournament. This is a bad job by this guy. Just telling you.
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm sorry. That face was. I looked in the comments on accident, and D. Jones said, "How was Pop getting a pass? How was Greg Popovich, 5-time NBA champion, had 50+ win seasons damn near every single year for 20 years? How was he? I'm not even gonna say nothing else. I'm just saying, like, I hope that was a joke.
D. Jones is racist.
I hope that was a joke.
Let's talk about our top of the barrel.
Underrated, right?
Most underrated coaches in NBA right now.
Let's bring my list up. Oh, it's JB's list. Cool. Yes, flip it up then. You go first.
Nick Nurse. He won a title with Kawhi Leonard. What I think he's had to deal with in Philly right now with a team that has Joel Embiid hurt, who's gotten rid of player after player to this whole Morey debacle as a GM. I believe that Nick Nurse gets overlooked in this business. Rick Carlisle. He's won one in Dallas. He's come now and turned around another program that hasn't been good since Reggie Miller. Or not Reggie Miller, but Frank Vogel took them to an Eastern Conference final. They were decent, but really they haven't been talked about again since they are right now. Rick Carlisle's continued. He could just flat out coach. He does it wherever he goes. Jason Kidd. I don't know if he's getting enough credit for what he's been able to do there. The moves he made in the midseason acquisitions of P.J. Washington, I thought was huge, instrumental. Plus the other the big man they got. I like the moves they made. I believe that the players are buying into Jason Kidd and what he's doing there. Chris Finch, hobbled right now. This tells you he's not even there. An assistant is the head coach right now because he had knee surgery. And the team is clearly bought into what Chris Finch has done and what he has orchestrated. I got suspended from a couple games, coaching high school once or twice, coaching in junior college once or twice. My teams always won without me. You know why? Because my assistant coaches understood the mission, they understood the job, and the players knew without me it doesn't matter. The thing keeps rolling, and the foundation was already in place. Mm-hmm. Chris Finch has put the foundation in place in Minnesota. It doesn't matter if he's there or not. The assistant coach, all he's doing is managing the product. And that is what's going on. And then Eric Spoelstra, I believe, is one of the most underrated guys. Listen, we all talk about how great of a coach he is, but yet no one really brings him up when it comes down to the greats in the last 15, 20 years. He's fucking goddamn. If you look at what he's done with Les, it's right up there with Phil Jackson. He doesn't have the titles and the rings that Phil Jackson has, of course, but he surely does more with less, in my opinion, than anyone else. He gets more out of everyone else than anyone else. And that's my most underrated talk about. This is Eddie. Current coaches, Eddie. Let's talk about yours.
Let's bring my list up, man. Let's bring Big Smitty's list up. Top 5 underrated current NBA coaches, man. Number 5, I got JB Biggerstaff. A lot of you cats probably don't know who that is, man. Cleveland Cavaliers head coach. I just think that, again, you talk about a young team who's still trying to figure things out. Obviously, they bring in Donovan Mitchell, who is a star. But nevertheless, man, you get this team rolling. I think we're a number 4 seed going into the playoffs this year. 2 games away from being like a second seed. That's how good they were during this entire season. Now you got them in a second round with a chance to potentially get an upset. I know it's a long stretch. I have the Celtics winning, but the fact they're in this position, I think the first time they won a playoff series without LeBron since like the 90s or something like that. It was a crazy stat. So shout out to JB Biggerstaff and what he's doing. Number 4, Ime Udoka. I know he got into that little off the court trouble or his personal life with the Celtics. But don't let that distract you from how great of a coach he is. I think he had the Celtics rolling during his time being with them, and now with the young Houston Rockets. People forget, man, the Rockets were like a game away from sneaking into the playoffs. I think they went 41-41. If they were in the East, they would probably be in the playoffs right now. But that's a team that I'm telling you, watch out. They figure something out on the second half of that season, and do not be surprised. You see the Houston Rockets team being like a top 4, top 5 seed in the playoffs next year. I love the way that he had that team rolling. They're locked in. They're playing well.
Until, though, he fucked someone's bitch.
Well, I think he learned from his mistakes. He's going to stay single. Number 3, we got Rick Carlisle. Same reason KB said. This guy's been a really good coach wherever he goes. Very successful with the Dallas Mavericks. Has the Pacers rolling and back relevant again. And listen, everybody knows he's from Indiana. Basketball is everything. So to have the basketball city, Indianapolis back, just feeling good, feeling confident about a squad, and they have a real chance. I know they blew one last night, but the Pacers have a real chance of making to the Eastern Conference Finals, which would be huge. Number 2, Jason Kidd. Same reason JB said as well. I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he's doing with Kyrie and Luka. I think everyone's on the bandwagon of Kyrie Irving now, but let's not forget, just a year or maybe 2 years ago, everybody hated this man because of the off the court stuff and not getting the vaccine and this, that, and the third, and people were using that to over criticize his losses on the court. Trust me, I'm in the media, so I was hearing it and seeing it daily. Now everyone wants to hop on the bandwagon because he's kind of being quiet when it comes to off the court matters. Everyone, oh, Kyrie's amazing. Nah, stay on the side that you were at. Y'all, a lot of people didn't believe that Kyrie and Luka could figure it out, and they have, and they're having fun. They're playing hard. He has guys like PJ Washington playing in a huge, important role in the team. They lost Tim Hardaway Jr. through injury. Next man up. Shout out to J. Kidd. But number 1, man, Tom Thibodeau, man. This cat right here, he's an old school, hard-nosed coach. He gonna tell it like a TI is. Every team he goes to, they play good defense. They play physical. They play discipline, and he has that New York Knicks team rolling. Like they play so hard from start to finish. They play defense. Again, you talk about a coach that doesn't need a lot to win, and Rick Carlisle. I think the same with Tom Thibodeau. He doesn't like. You look at that team; it's a whole bunch of really good role players, and then obviously Jalen Brunson as the star. But like he has those guys like maxing out their skills, their ball movement. Like you could tell that team is coached well. It's not a lot of one-on-one basketball. It's movement and spacing, and that's a well-coached team. And I think Tom Thibodeau doesn't get enough flowers. So that's Smitty's top 5 underrated current NBA coaches.
I want to give a shout out to Willie Green for the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like 42 years old. I thought he did a really good job with a Zion, prima donna Zion that's never healthy and overweight. And then, of course, the number 1 seed, Oklahoma City Thunder, Mark Dodgino or whatever his name is.
He won Coach of the Year, though. So, like, for me, I look at it differently. If you're winning the accolades, I don't think it's underrated.
You didn't know who this guy was 2 years ago.
No, I definitely did. But I'm saying this year we do know who he is.
That's my point.
And he won Coach of the Year. So that means
but this is a guy, he came out of nowhere. Listen, I don't have him on my list either, but I'm saying he needs to be mentioned because this is a guy nobody knew about. Nobody knew about this guy. And no one talks about Willie Green. Nobody talks about Mosley either. Those guys have all done well. I would have the guy at Boston right now over Udoka. I would, but I still don't have him on either because of the franchise he inherited. I don't know how much I want to see the body of work that this guy Mazzulla, because I've seen him fail with this pretty much same roster besides Holiday and Porzingis. I want to see now how it works out with a hurt Porzingis and a Holiday. I want to see if this guy can get over the hump. I don't see it. I don't see it.
That's a good point. And then real quick, because D. Jones, he's one of our regulars. D. Jones, you're comparing. First of all, I did say Bill Belichick was past his prime. I did say that, but I never said Bill Belichick wasn't an all-time great coach. You're talking as if you're saying that Popovich was overrated. To me, when you say overrated, that means you're discrediting all of the accomplishments that person has done. I don't think now if you're saying in your opinion you think he's past his prime, that's a fair opinion. But saying he's overrated as a coach, looking at everything he's accomplished, I think is crazy. And you ask, what has he done since Tim Duncan left? Listen, anytime a franchise or a team loses an all-time great, there's going to be a little small period of figuring it out. They just got Victor Wembanyama. Let's see what happens next year. Let's see what happens next year.
To critique your list, like you critique mine too. You got to have Finch on there over Udoka. Udoka's not even in the playoffs. That Finch, what he's done in Minnesota in the short time he's done it. Udoka is a guy that we don't know. He's done something that Matt Barnes has told me, and other people have said is something you just never do as a man to another man in this sport. So whatever he did must be so egregious to where how he got a job, by the way, is also something to talk about.
Well, I'm not talking about my personal life. I'm talking about just coaching. I'm separating the two right now.
I don't know if I could put him in any top 5 list right now this fast. I mean, he did miss the playoffs. Yeah, he did better than the Houston team that actually was a disaster.
They were horrible before him. The only thing I remember, they were like bottom of the league before he got there.
I didn't even contribute that to the last coach, though, which is what's his name's son, Wes Unzel's son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't – that was a horrible job. Look what happened. They depleted the whole roster, and then he got rid of guys that didn't want to play. Then the guy got a case. Other dude got banned. What was it, Porter, whatever, the other Porter? They had all kind of issues over there. Green got out. Like, they had a lot of young talent that just went shit to bed. And
that's what I'm saying. The fact that this guy jumped in after all the off-the-court switch, he jumps into a team that ain't did shit yet, super young, horrible year before, and to have him competing to get to 500, 41-41, to me, that's a hell of a coaching job. And then I still can't forget what he did with the Boston Celtics. So again, when I say the most underrated, that doesn't mean these are my top 5 coaches in the NBA per se. I'm saying who's to me don't get the credit for the work they have accomplished. That's how I do my list.
I look at it the other way. I look at it as the Houston Texans. I look at it as a Houston Texans situation. I look at it like Lovie Smith doesn't get enough credit for what he built there before this youngster came in there and took over. Similar situation. This cat in Houston has to get some sort of credit for what he endured and the shit show that he had to take on in Houston before Udoka comes in there and does what he does. So, like, that's just my opinion. So,
I'm not discrediting nothing that happened before him. I'm not trying to discredit Unsealed or whatever his name is. I'm just saying at the end of the day, the results were the results. Not saying it's his fault, but the results were the results. So I can't put him above Udoka, who actually got way better results. Now you could say, well, this couldn't have happened without this, and that's how it always is. Like, who knows if Steve Kerr would have been as successful as he is without Mark Jackson being there? I don't know, but Steve Kerr did win 4 championships and brought the best of this team, so I can't discredit him because Mark Jackson laid down a good foundation before he got there. Like, again, 2 things can be true, but I'm gonna go with the guy who got the best results as the better coach, or the for this argument, who's gonna be on my underrated list. I can't put a guy on the list who won 9 games or something like that. That don't make sense.
Yeah, I just don't know, man. It's a tough business. We got something in the show with though. Breaking news: a GM in the NFL has come out and said this.
As a former NFL scout, Shadeur Sanders is currently ranked as an undraftable free agent on my 2025 NFL draft board based on a week-long study of every snap he took in 10 games from Colorado's 2023 season. Full game film evidence included in this report. Who's the GM? What's the like site? Like, who does this come from? Is this just Twitter? Is it a reputable source? What's the name? What's the number? Talk to me.
There's that link right there. So you hit that link, and it goes to first round mock draft, which is on Fubo.
Okay. And
it's he was graded on May 6th by Daniel Kelly.
Okay, perfect.
As a undraftable free agent through 10 games at the Power 5 level.
Daniel Kelly, perfect. Okay, that's all I want to know. Cool. I mean,
Daniel Kelly said that Sanders looks like an FCS quarterback trying to survive in the FBS. That doesn't bode well for NFL prospects.
Gotcha.
Featured in an elementary offensive attack, Sanders plays in a basic conservative-natured offense attack built around quick rhythm short passes while making 1, maybe 2 reads. His passes are most short range and only occasionally extend further downfield. It's an offense tailor-built to his strengths while attempting to keep his weaknesses from being exposed. Sanders takes off and runs, 2023, 111 rushing attempts. Anything outside of those 2 things is an adventure. He also led the country in being sacked at the FCS level at HBCU, Jackson State, as well as last year, his first year at the Power 5 level at Colorado. So is the problem the offensive line, as Deion Sanders states, or is the problem Shadeur Sanders not being able to understand coverage and get the ball out of his hand? It will not bode well for him in the NFL if he continues to hold the ball. Shadeur is not the athletically gifted freak of Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, or Lamar Jackson. So him getting out of trouble and harm's way will be an issue moving forward. His release and platform are very slow delivering, and there's very mechanical.
Undraftable free agent. Okay.
I don't know if I agree. Here's the thing. I do agree with a lot of his assessments, and I have not watched 10 games. I've watched him play live, obviously, on TV. I've seen clips, and we've watched him throughout. I don't know if he's undrafted because who his dad is. I believe he's going to get drafted.
Beyond who his dad is.
Yeah.
Beyond who his dad is.
I don't know.
He did with his number to say he's undraftable. After I just watched the draft this couple weeks ago, a week or so ago, of cats who ain't even touched the numbers, the performers that he did get picked up. Y'all cannot tell me the guy's undrafted. Now, if you want to say he's not a number overall pick or he's not a first rounder, cool. I'm cool. But to say that 7 rounds of players can go through and he hasn't done enough to be somewhere in the 7 rounds of getting drafted is it just don't make sense. That's all. It just don't make sense. It has nothing to do with Deion.
We don't know. We don't know what it makes. We don't know what it makes. It's just gonna we're in a watered down.
I do know what it makes. We watched him play last year. I've seen enough from what he did and the other quarterbacks that are in college as well, and the quarterbacks that I've seen get drafted every single year to say this cat can get drafted. Like what are we talking about?
Say that based on what the other quarterbacks look like, you think he's good enough. Say that, because don't say he's some guy that we've never seen. Please don't.
I never say he's not some guy we never seen. I'm saying to say he's undraftable is idiotic. That's stupid. It's just stupid. Now you say he's not first round, second round. That's cool. To say he shouldn't be drafted is crazy. Like that don't make sense. Like literally don't make sense. Based upon what we seen, we saw Zach Wilson get drafted. And what did he do in college?
Zach was much better in college.
And what did Zach Wilson do in college? Go look it up. Go watch the tape. Zach wasn't that good in college.
Time out, dog. Are you really comparing?
We seen Trey Lance get drafted. And
Are you comparing the skill set?
Trey Lance played at North Dakota State for 1 year or some shit, and that's it.
Hold on, though. Are you comparing skill sets?
I'm comparing the tape. Fuck skill set. I'm comparing when I watch the tape, what happened. That's what I compare it to. I don't care. Listen, JB, when you talk to me, you gotta understand. I was a recruit. I wasn't the tallest guy in the world. I wasn't the fastest guy in the world. I wasn't like, if we did a combine, my numbers would be average compared to maybe a lot of other guys. But when you watch the tape, these other dudes, they didn't fuck with me. So I'm saying put the pads on and watch the tape.
Was Trey Lance and Zach Wilson's last year in college better than Shadeur Sanders last year?
Nope.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, that show's done. It is what it is. Let's get this thing. We'll be back tomorrow. BYU won. He was an NFL talent, but we'll dive into that tomorrow. We'll start the show off with this tomorrow. Hopefully we get Matt on.
Please do.
And Trey Lance we all know, is a freak of nature. That's why they drafted him.
Trey Lance last season, he didn't play, so I don't even know.
Well, I've already critiqued that as well, so don't act like I haven't. I'm just saying, let's just talk about skill set. There's a whole nother ballgame.
That's the conversation. Tom Brady ain't the most skilled quarterback ever. He's the best quarterback ever. So when you talk about skill, they don't fully matter every situation. You know that.
I know. I talk about it all the time. I know.
You probably wasn't the most skilled quarterback when you played, but I bet you was better than a lot of other guys. So don't give me a skill conversation in this argument then.
But this guy has either.
All right.
We're going to dive into it, though.
Let's dive into it. 27 touchdowns, 3 picks, over 3,000 yards with a shitty O-line first year, and he ain't shit. All I know is this. I'm
surprised my boy Mo really thinks Shadeur is a baller like that.
Because, bro, you don't just go to a big Division I like Colorado your first year. You don't have. It's clear. Like we're not just saying this. Your O-line sucks. That just is what it is. That's a fact.
Did they suck at Jackson State?
It's a different level of competition, JB. I don't know. It's different level of competition.
He got sacked even more at Jackson State.
It's a different. But listen. I'm not talking about the sacks. I'm talking about the success rate of the team. Because everybody gonna say, "Well, you won 4 games." Well, again, you're playing at a higher level and you have way lower talent than most other teams that you're playing against. So, the wins are not going to add up in year one. But when I look at his individual performances and the comebacks that he did and the big time throws and the stats, obviously, like you can't say, I'm not saying he's the number 1 quarterback in the world. I'm just saying to say he's undraftable. It just don't make sense.
I didn't say it. First of all,
I'm talking to Daniel Kelly or whoever this cat is. Like to me, you're saying that because you don't like him, and that's cool.
They'll clip it. Everybody will clip this and say I said he was.
No. JB did not say this. Daniel Kelly said that. Some writer.
But I want to be clear though. The majority of his stats are garbage time, being beat down in games where he threw the ball 40 times plus in the second half. To a lot of stats, just so we're clear, if you watch his 10 games, are second half stats when they are down. They could have easily been a 2-win ball club this last year, and they were down heavy, and they throw the ball heavy, just as you see any team do. So let's be clear. Let's talk about. So if we're only going to talk about, let's save it for tomorrow. Let's save it for tomorrow. Let's get out of here. I gotta get ready to go do some work. I gotta go again, carry the show, and go get the studio ready. So I know you're not doing nothing. So we'll get to that and pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Our Discord, Slap Nation plus Winnable. Go over there, become a member of our first down segment on winnable.com/slappicks. Also, make sure that you head on over to our GoFundMe. Our top 5 contributors will be coming on over to the Slapdick Cigar Lounge and Studio for a barbecue and poker night. So make sure you guys contribute to that so we can get the studio up and running. Much love to all you supporters, haters, and all. We love our haters. They're our biggest fans. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. And we will see you mañana, God willing. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing. We switched it and filled the gap.